Hello, everybody! It's Wednesday. Welcome back to the Abomination Vaults. Eyes of Empty Death for the last time. On this, our finale of the entire Adventure Path Runes of Gauntlet. Sorry, that's actually not the name of the Adventure Path. The Adventure Path is named Abomination Vaults. But we started with Runes of Gauntlet. We moved through to Hands of the Devil, and now we're in the Eyes of Empty Death. I am your GM, Steve, and I'm joined by Mike, Rick, Richard, and Nina. Together, we are Recall Knowledge, a group of 5e vets finishing our journey to crit fumble our way through learning Pathfinder. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
For those of you who are new to the show, welcome, and if you've been with us for a while, welcome back. It's good to have you with us again. It's been a long journey, 40 episodes to be precise, and tonight it all comes to an end one way or another. But before we start tonight, let's take a minute to cover some of our announcements so we can get on to the action. Off the top, our first sponsor of the night is Molten Hosting!
Molten
Hosting.
Now, Molten Hosting continues their sponsorship of Recall Knowledge, our official hosting service for Foundry Virtual Tabletop, and for reasons that nobody will fathom, they continue to enable us to do crazy sponsor spots like this. And due to the amazing response they received the last time they were on our show, Molten Hosting has decided to continue to promote their newest spokespeople, and they are back again tonight to share the latest word from the underground, to quote their press release.
No.
Oh, yes. Pay the non-believers no mind. Will everybody in chat please give some applause for the one, the only, Molten Homies!
What's up?
Oh. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Nina, on the mic. And with me, the man who needs no introduction,
Richie Rich in the house.
And we are back with this remix to tell you about the illest,
the baddest,
the freshest,
the most hardcore hosting service on the street.
Molten Hosting. Yes. Yo, Steve, drop the beat.
Very in sync, you two.
Well-oiled machine.
Now I ain't known as Bill Gates. Instead, they call me Lil Short. Oh, I'm so out. And when it comes to computers, I can't even forward my port. My friends can't connect me, but I swear I ain't ghosting, so I switched up my crew and now roll with Molten Hosting.
Nice one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, our crew runs deep, got servers around the globe, from US to Germany and Australia down below. Now, even our homies in Sao Paulo won't feel a lag spike. Now, let me pass this verse over to the newest Molten homie, Mike.
Yo, so they call me Malibu Mike Drop, because I make all the rhymes pop. And if you check my laptop, Molten Hosting is running nonstop. It is so easy for your players. It doesn't take any prayers. Turn those naysayers into Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
So go check Molten
Malibu.
Yeah, so go check moltenhosting.com while sipping on your iced tea.
And use code Recall Knowledge.
One word.
To get your first month free.
Free.
Peace out, M-side.
Yeah, let's go.
Yo, bitch, I need a gin and juice over here.
This is the worst and best thing ever.
Yeah, give him his gin and juice.
Oh my god.
Gin and juice.
100%, Rick. I agree with you 100%. But even then, you as a viewer or listener should head on over to moltenhosting.com right now. Check out their service. Use the code RecallKnowledge at checkout. One word, and you can get your first month for free. Thank you, Molten Hosting, for sponsoring tonight's episode and for some reason enabling our zaniness. We love you guys.
And I'm no longer a Mike, I'm a
Hosting.
homie.
Wow.
Next time, Rick, you're going to have to get in on it. It's gonna
Yeah.
slowly.
Rick's like, yeah, thank God this is the last game.
That's
I'm sorry.
true.
My connection's breaking up.
In partnership with Molten Hosting tonight, we wanted to give
Wow.
our audience a chance to win a copy of a Foundry virtual tabletop license for you to use. Maybe you're stuck rolling 20s on outdated software. Maybe you have seen all the awesome effects we've done, but you can't afford a license. Either way, we are giving away one license to our fans. We're going to be launching a contest in conjunction with the finale. This finale airing on YouTube, not tonight, not live, but on YouTube. So follow us on YouTube, Twitter. Keep your eye on the announcements that we make. The contest should be going live on Friday, January 28th. We'll be open to everyone to enter, and it'll be running for about a week before we announce the winner after that. Big thanks, Molten Hosting, for sponsoring tonight's episode.
Thank you, Molten Hosting. And
Thank
for
you.
continuing us
Yeah.
to allow us to do
You guys are
whatever the
awesome.
hell that was.
Exactly. And if you want
You're
more
the biggest
of
homie.
that, maybe they'll see it and be like, nah, you know what? We don't want to associate our brand with this anymore. But if they continue to sponsor and you guys enjoy it out there, let us know, and we'll keep the Molten Homies rolling along. Moving on. Our second sponsor for the night is the Rollsmith.
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 The Rollsmith is the maker of awesome virtual dice for your Foundry virtual tabletop games. You can use these dice to add extra customization to the existing Dice So Nice module and take your dice to the next level. It helped feed our dice addiction through the transition to virtual play, and I personally always get really excited looking for the next dice set coming down the line. They are all the dice we feature here on our show, and you will be seeing during our battle scenes, which tonight will probably be most of the night. And they make an awesome addition to your table. Head on over to therollsmith.com to check out all the options they have to offer. If you're hanging out with us in chat tonight, if you haven't used the Rollsmith, or if you're a fan, you just want more, hit us up. We got some codes to give away. Just let us know that you're interested in some Rollsmith dice, and we'll get them back to you by the end of the session. The first handful of people that want some, speak up, and I'll get them your way. Thank you, Rollsmith, for sponsoring us tonight.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rollsmith.
Rollsmith.
You know what, guys? We have a few more announcements we'll make at the end of the show, but I think for this moment, that's going to do it for the opening announcement section. Are you guys ready to play some Pathfinder?
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
All right, viewers.
Good night to die.
It is. Go ahead, viewers. Sit back, relax. But players, let's jump into tonight's final episode of The Eyes of Empty Death. Episode 8.
8.
Beneath the quiet fishing town of Otari, something sinister has awoken. The sorceress Belcorra Haravex, destroyed nearly 500 years ago by the Rose Guard, has returned. Her spirit will not rest until it finishes what she started so long ago. The destruction of Absalom, and with it, Otari. A band of heroes have united to answer the call, delving beneath the mysterious lighthouse known as the Gauntlet. Together, they discovered a dungeon that Belcorra called the Abomination Vaults, originating from a site where their outer goddess Nimbaloth once brushed against this world. During their adventures, the heroes have managed to dispatch cults dedicated to the Ghost Queen, the self-appointed guardian of the lighthouse named Volek, a flesh warper conducting strange experiments in his laboratory named Jafaki, and most recently, a contract devil named Yorevian. general to Belcorra's armies, now sent back to the Nine Hells. With the pathway cleared, the heroes of Atari must take up their weapons one last time, descend down into the lowest levels of the Abomination Vaults, and face off against Belcorra once and for all, hoping to find a way to put an end to her vengeful quest. Will the heroes succeed in their task? Or will they, like so many before them, finally succumb to the eyes of empty death? The camera fades in. Before I get going, that is an awesome hat, Richard. First Recall Knowledge merch. That is sweet.
That is sweet.
The camera fades in as the heroes of Otari stand in a massive chamber. Within this chamber, a small river of swampy water flows from beneath the walls of the west side of the room through to the east. The space is dominated by a massive skull on the dais, dwarfing even the tallest of the heroes in its size, with its large teeth crooked and cracked. Its large, empty eyes stare menacingly within its empty gaze. The walls of the chamber are carved with intricate patterns of bones, swampy reeds, and misty swirls. A pair of doors on the west wall leads to the room known as the Empty Vault. And within the Empty Vault lies your enemy, Belcorra. The camera pans upwards, and we can see the ceiling reaches up over 80 feet to the level above, reminding you of just how deep underground you really are. The camera slowly pushes in closer towards the top, a menacing swirl of 7 tentacles with 7 hands each, with 7 fingers per hand, painted at the apex. A single 4-pointed star glows dimly, pulsing as the camera zooms closer. Above this, 9 levels of a dungeon named the Abomination Vaults, spanning hundreds of feet of adventure. You have all braved the dangers that sat before you. Only one still remains. As the camera pans back down, we see a slightly different scene. The heroes are not here. Instead, we see a large skeletal figure of Lady's Whisper, accompanied by a young woman. "You have done well, child," says Lady's Whisper. "Most do not complete my trials so easily. Most don't have the will to do what must be done," replies the girl, very matter-of-factly. The camera is drifting down towards the pair closer, as if we are a spider dropping down on our prey. So, it's here then, just beyond those doors. This is where she touched. Yes, she brushed against this world many, many years ago. It still pulses with her power, even now. I must ask, how did you know of this place? Asks the skeletal figure. She showed me. The young dark-haired woman turns towards Lady's Whisper, pushing her hair back over her shoulder, a little cocky. She chose me. She knows what I want, and she wants to help me. The large skeletal face, incapable of showing any emotion, any expression at all, looks back with its empty sockets. I would be careful, young one, with what you presume. What she wants is not something a mortal mind could comprehend. The young woman grins. And yet here I am, as she willed, on the cusp of greatness. My death, when it comes, will not be empty. It will be filled with vengeance. The camera is now stopped, showing a close-up of Lady Whisper's face, standing there, motionless, with those large empty eye sockets staring back into the camera and your soul. And slowly it fades away, and where it stands in the same framing of the shot, we see the large skull on the dais of the room, staring back from the very same angle. And as the camera pulls back a bit, we see we are now back in present times with the heroes of Otari ready to enter the empty vault. Now, heroes, take a moment here to have your final story beat as a group before we collectively step into the empty vault and into our final fight.
When we go
Whisper
through
it
those
out.
doors, when we go, I'm doing my do re mi's really like
Nervous.
so she doesn't hear me. So when we go through those doors, stay near me, and I'm going to make you two faster. And I look to Mukta, and then I look to new Lara, and I say, when it starts, I'm gonna make you two faster, so you guys can fly up there and get there. Hopefully, well, shit, it's been a good time. Live or die, kick some ass.
If we defeat her, then that would be great. If not, then we die and Absalom and Otari is destroyed. So, no pressure or anything.
Yeah, no pressure.
You can do this.
Definitely. With Mukta's attitude, and I smack him on the bum, we can't fail.
Not at all.
Mukta just looks and doesn't really react all that much. That stupid emerald lens.
The lens is still corrupting you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Laura, I know you've been carrying this, but I think for this last fight, maybe you might want to hand me that book.
You sure?
Kind of like you guys say, it's going to be live or die. Hope I don't need to, but you're going to be up fighting her, and I'll be in the back, and if I have to
All right.
sacrifice myself for the greater of all, I'm going to end up opening that book.
And if Clovis is corrupted while we defeat her, then we just kill Clovis next.
Absolutely. Like I said, this would be for the greater good. If my life goes and everybody lives, it'd be worth it.
Well, let's hope that doesn't come to that.
I think that's what the definition of a hero is, isn't it? It says there, Clovis pulls out a healing potion and chugs it.
Wait, 1 hit point for the healing potion.
Sweet. Then you see Clovis again pull out another healing potion and drink that. Like, what the heck? Didn't use very much.
Don't give in to the book. It's a book.
I will try not to look at it. I hope it doesn't come down to that. That's all I got to say.
Are you putting the book in your backpack, Clovis?
I am.
Okay, just tucking it away for safekeeping. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be holding it.
So I will say, as you guys look in this chamber, right, there's this kind of like small river of like swampy water that runs through the middle. Not too hard to like get across if you just wanted to jump, but looking towards the western wall is where the empty vault is. There's actually 2 sets of double doors, one on this side of the river, one on the other, that lead in. So how would you guys like to approach?
I could go first, and I will be scouting.
Okay.
I lead the charge.
Perfect. Scouting gives you guys a +1 on your initiative roll.
I'll probably be last, and like I said, I'll unstrap the fulcrum lattice and just before I walk in, I'm going to hold it real quick with one hand, and then pop my hood up to go invisible, and then hold it with both hands again.
You guys watch as Mukta's carrying this Fulcrum lens, and for those of you who are joining us and maybe don't know what's going on, you guys have found this large Fulcrum. It's called the Fulcrum Lattice, which is intended to be installed on top of this lighthouse to give this sort of magical powers, and it's been slotted with these magical lenses that you guys have spent the last 7 episodes going around and acquiring, with the plan to use these lenses to inject Belcorra with the essence of Nimbaloth, in the hopes that if she's invested with all of those slivers, Nimbaloth herself will take an interest and come to collect what is rightfully hers. So that is your battle plan generally. And so within that, Mukta, this little Yosoki, this little guy, the smallest of the crew, is carrying with like double armed wrapped around this huge 2-bulk sort of lattice with these heavy lenses in it, ready to be the trigger man. And you pop your hood up, and you go invisible. You, the Fulcrum, everything just blinks out of existence.
Yeah, the last possible second, because it's only lasts a minute.
Yep, perfect.
Right. Clovis will take out a couple holy waters, put them on my belt, and a couple ghost charges, and put them on my belt out of my backpack.
Okay. You have a bandolier, but I think you'd have to either sacrifice your tools to put them on the bandolier, or they're fine in the belt pouch too. I think it's pretty much the same difference.
Okay.
So as you guys line up, right, you guys can put your tokens where you'd like to be lined up. Mukta, I'm guessing your exploration activity is to avoid notice.
Yes.
Hal and Clovis, what are your guys's?
This Clovis will continue to do what he normally does, which is just investigate, looking for anything, secret doors, anything out of the ordinary that catches my eye.
Okay. And Hal?
I'll avoid notice.
Okay, avoiding notice.
Where do we go?
There's a set of double doors right here. There's also another set down there, so you guys can line up at one and go through together. You can split up. It's really your guys' choice.
All right. Either way, they're
Oh.
both on the west side, right? Both those doors we're talking about, right?
Yes.
I will do that. Be a distraction. Oh, wait, no. I'll be right next to Hal.
We can go through either door. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Before we go in and before I go invisible and we do anything else, Mukta will obviously have checked for traps.
Of course, Mukta's always checking for traps. These doors do not appear to be trapped.
I'll just nod to everybody. We're good.
Yeah.
Good to
So, I believe how you had said you were going to cast Quickened at like the last second, or what is it, haste?
Yep. Quick and
Are you
casting
going to do
with
it
haste.
before you go in?
At the last minute, right before Mukta puts his hood up.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I can't see him.
Right, that's from farther. You hit Mukta with it, and then he pops his hood up, and like pretty much at that same moment, you can like infuse New Lara, and then you guys are more than capable of opening the door and going.
I'll use quick and
Right.
casting. That lets me cast haste twice in a round.
Hmm.
Oh, Quickened, that's a new thing you got? That is cool. Is haste touch?
30 feet, believe it or not.
Yeah, so you can be right over there in the door and do it from across the way. So it looks like what I'm seeing is Nulara, Mukta, Clovis, and Mushi are all kind of on the northernmost door, and Hal is going to go in on the southernmost door. Awesome.
right. Yeah, that's fine.
You
Can
sure?
I use a healing potion real quick?
Yep,
Probably be
retroactively
over with Hal.
healed up.
Perfect.
I can see like everyone's just downing all of their last. Like, what do I got in this bag still? Oh, right. Elixir
No,
time.
See, you guys
Elixir
aren't real
time.
gamers. You have to finish the game with those potions.
Right.
I also use my cheetah's
I
elixir
still got
real quick.
a lot of potions. That's my first healing potions I've actually drank this week.
Elixir.
What if there's
time.
something after the fight? Then we need it. You never know.
I still have some in mine.
Yep. So you get 1 minute of +5 speed. Cool. All right. Are we ready to go? Because you guys have put a lot of like 1 minute bus balls on yourself, and the timer starts ticking right away. So like you guys are
Yes.
downing, hitting each other with haste.
Invisible.
Luckily, you can quicken it to get 2 in 1 round to even buy more time. You pop up the hood. All right.
And then we go through.
The doors fly open.
Whoa.
So go ahead and you can move your characters just inside the door. Don't go much farther than like right in the door. So here's what happens. You enter. This strangely shaped chamber is humid and oppressively clammy. The room's 4 wings each contain a massive pool of bubbling swamp water. Flickering motes of light and darkness play underneath the surface of the pools. The chamber's center is partially blocked by a circle of towering black standing stones, which crackle with eerie energy that shoots up into a shaft in the ceiling. So this ceiling is 80 feet tall. These black stones crackling with purple energy goes from the floor all the way up to the top ceiling, completely the full 80 length. And in the center of those like 8 standing stones with the crackling energy, a beam of blue light pulses and crackles and shoots up, the same blue light you've seen emitting from the top of the lighthouse before, pulsing through Lazda. This is the source of the Gauntlight's power. 7 narrow channels, as though dug into the stone by a 7-fingered hand, run from each pool and 3 of the walls to a moat in the center of the room. From there, the water flows underneath the wall back towards the east where you just came from. Between a pair of double stone doors, which you guys have just kind of came in one on each side, an island in the middle of the moat holds a smooth altar topped with a black lens about the size of your fist. And floating there, right above the altar, staring at you through the sort of slivers between these black standing stones, none other than Belcorra yourself. And Clovis, if you could give me a secret perception check, because you were investigating, you were watching as you guys kind of came in. She floats up, right? I've been watching you. And you can see now she's crackling with energy. You can see, those of you who can see her token, right? I've put indicators on the token to represent what she's been infused with. So you can see motes of red light swirling within her from the crimson lens. You can see a swirling blackness within her from the Ebon lens. 2 infusions down, 2 to go. And as she rises up, she's like, you shouldn't have come here. Let's end this. And she immediately lashes out in like anger as she goes to attack. Now, I will say, Clovis, since you are on watch, as you move into this room, you can see there's a pool of water up here and a pool of water down here. And I'm going to switch over to the battle screen just so our audience can get a view of sort of the layout of the scene. So there's 2 pools of water closest to you, right? As she's speaking and your eyes go to these pools of water, the thing is bubbling. There's motes of light swirling. It's a little choppy, but you notice a little like air bubble, and the way the water sloughs off, you can see that something invisible has risen up from each one of those pools, caught by your keen eye, because you rolled a 39 on your perception check.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
So basically, right here and down here, Clovis, you feel like there's something invisible that rose up out of those waters. And as Belcorra wastes there's no monologue from the villain. There's no time wasted. This is her defending her holy site. And players, we're going to roll some gosh dang initiative. So why don't you guys go ahead, roll me that initiative. If you're avoiding notice, you have the option to use stealth, of course.
That scares me most of all. The
That there's no monologue?
Not monologuing.
All right, Belcorra opens up with a 16 for a total of... Oh, wait, no, that wasn't her dice. Oh, Belcorra got a natural 1 on her initiative.
Nice.
That is bad for her.
I forgot, but I'll demoralize
Clovis
still.
got a
Yes, no,
27.
yeah, when you roll initiative, you get to yell out. Woo. Wow, you
I
guys
got
came
a
prepared.
23.
Mukta got a 19 on the dice for a total of 42.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Mukta got a 42 initiative. Nulara got 37. Hal got a 34. Clovis got a 27. But Belcorra with a natural 1 out the
Nice.
gate gets a 23. Maybe maybe you guys caught her off guard. She was last minute preparing something or other. Yeah, so Nulara yells out. When you roll initiative, you get to yell a battle cry. It like startles your enemies. It tries to startle Belcorra. Unfortunately, a 23, and that targets a will save.
Yeah.
23 is going to be a failure. So it does not beat her will save. So she does not become frightened.
Oh, let's hope she rolls ones all night.
But guys, we are in the midst of it. We are in the final fight. All the marbles. And the first person to react, invisible, avoiding notice, carrying the fulcrum lens, Mukta. Mukta, what would you like to do?
I'm going to delay my turn, actually.
Okay. Fair enough. Mukta delays acting, which takes us to so anytime you're ready to jump in after someone's turn, you let me know, Mukta. Nulara.
Okay. For my first action, I am going to actually activate my medallion.
Oh.
Use it, which gives me another +2 to my.
Trigger, you attempted a will save against a fear effect.
Oh, for fear effects.
Got it.
Just in case.
Oh, so I think that you trigger that when you're about to roll against a fear effect.
I do?
It's this,
Oh,
the trigger
okay.
is you attempt a will save against a fear effect, but you haven't rolled yet. So it's a free action to activate that right when you're about to roll a save against a fear effect. So it doesn't even take an action.
Okay, that's perfect. So 2 actions. I'm gonna sudden charge. Right here.
Okay. So here's part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Right down the middle of the thing is a lake of water. So if you wanted to run there, these like purple things are standing stones that are 80 feet tall and block vision. So in order to get to her, you either have to go in this water, and water is definitely difficult terrain, but you could fly. So I guess that doesn't
I was
matter.
gonna say I am flying.
You are flying. So you, in that case, are able to zoom.
Go through here.
Now,
And then I have
how mean
30
of a
feet
GM
of-
do I want to be? Can you read sudden charge for me? Does it say you stride twice?
Yes. Hang on. Let me pop it up for you.
Stride is not fly. Stride says you move
Ah.
up to your speed. Okay, but what about fly? Does it
Flying.
say that you can do
thank
it?
you for that.
Haha, Mr. GM.
No, that's perfect. I like it. It says you can absolutely do it if you have the corresponding movement type, and you do. So you can fly twice as a stride. I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
go through
and-
Get
here.
her. Go get her.
Attacking her.
So
with
you
Encourage
fly, and
Salute.
you're gonna like circle around to the backside of her.
Yes, sir.
Let me just check something.
Can I go through her space? If not, I'll just.
You can, except for you. Your weapon
Fine.
can't. Anything with a ghost touch rune can't, but everything else on you can. So if you try to dash right through her, you would dash through, and then your weapon would get like stuck as it makes contact
Okay.
with her, right?
I'll do it like this.
But you
see
have
how
plenty
I
of
did
movement
it?
speed. You can go all the way around. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Ankar's Blade.
You find yourself in the middle of the standing stones. She's kind of hovering just above the altar. Yeah, make that attack.
I get cocky a little bit and I say, "Hello." Ah.
Hello again.
39 to hit.
Ooh, 39 is a hit, but not a crit.
Oh.
Not a crit.
Okay. Take note of that. That's an 18 on the dice. 22 points of slashing damage and then 5 positive.
Yep. Because of your ghost touch rune on your weapon and the positive damage and everything, she takes the full damage without any resistance.
Okay, perfect. So that's 2 actions. My third action would be raising a shield, and then my fourth would be to aid Mukta on his attack.
Okay, perfect. Nulara, can you make a fortitude save for me? As you move across the room, you get behind her, you attack her, you're feeling great. You can feel the energy of this room begins to sap at you and tries to drain something from you.
Mary Chrysler.
Those aren't
32.
Christmas dice.
32. You easily push out the effects of this thing. Not a critical
Okay, and-
success, believe it or not, but it is a success, and you take
Nice.
no effect from the room.
But because of Juggernaut, because when you roll a success on a Fortitude save, you get a critical success instead.
Yep. Critical success doesn't do anything different in this case, but let's just
okay.
say you don't even notice it then. It's just water off your back. Awesome.
Okay. Noted. That's
Yep.
the end of my turn.
All
I
right.
would like to take my turn now.
So now Mukta is going to jump in and take his turn.
I would like to spend 2 actions
Okay.
to fly up towards Belcorra
Right?
and spend, I believe, another 2 actions or to interject the Emerald Lens.
That is 100% true. It's 2 actions. You're holding the item. It's a 2-action strike. You invest in it. You make a melee weapon, like melee spell attack, and try to inject it into her. So, Mukta.
Is she flat-footed?
So here's let's check something real quick. You're invisible.
I'm invisible. I go before her in combat.
Oh yeah, you go before her in
And
combat.
flank.
You go before her in combat, so 100% she's flat-footed because of that fact, without checking
Okay.
anything else.
And I rolled a 42 on my initiative stealth. So.
Yep. Yep.
Um.
All right, I've marked her
All right.
flat-footed. She's also flanked. There's a lot of reasons she's
Yes.
flat-footed here.
So I use and then with Nulara's. Ooh, here's an interesting thing. While I'm running up, because I don't need to hide from her, right, anymore. I'm going to yell out now, so Nulara can know that I'm going up there.
Okay.
All right, and then I try to turn her towards me, so that she's distracted by me. So
Uh-huh.
like I'll physically like try and turn her by the shoulders.
So you can't grab her. She's a ghost.
She's a ghost.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
tried to like knock her with your
But your
weapon.
blade has the ghost
Like,
touch
just-
rune. So
yeah.
your blade can sort of reposition her, or like you could kind of grab the blade and like grab her, but
Yeah.
you can't physically make contact with her.
That's what I do. So that's an athletics check for my aid.
Yep, that works for me.
That would be 28.
28 is a success. You get a +1 circumstance bonus on top of her -2 circumstance penalty, and whatever your roll is, Mukta.
All right. So that's +1. So what's that on the dice?
It was a 14 on the dice,
14.
So it's
Plus
a
20.
36.
36, and she's flat-footed with another plus. Well, she's flat-footed, which is -2 circumstance penalty. Oh yeah, okay. So, and this is an attack roll, right?
Yes, melee
All right.
spell attack.
And which lens are you using?
I'm putting in the emerald lens, but I'm using the ochre lenses modifier
Yep.
because I'm using the lattice.
Okay, so you watch as you step up, you use this fulcrum lens through the invisibility. Nulara's like knocking her off balance. She's locked eyes with you, Mukta, and you come up. You get the impression she can actually see you even though you're invisible, but it doesn't matter because you're fast, you're quick, you caught her by surprise. You take the lens, you inject the energy, and you watch as the whole fulcrum lattice begins to pulse and vibrate as the orange energy pulses out from your lens, tries to inject itself into her. She tries to reject it. She tries to push it back, and you tap into your like knowledge and you force it through. She gets injected with it.
Alright, so I'm going to divest
So-
from the emerald.
Yep, you divest from it. She is going to now. You watch as you hit her with the orange energy, and within her, a tiny swirl of orange energy begins to swirl within her ghostly form, adding to her abilities. And she now is vested. She's now vested in. What was the ochre lens power? That was the one that gives you +2 against mental.
And negative healing, yeah.
Negative healing was the emerald lens, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm putting into it, the emerald lens.
Oh, so you put the emerald in, but you use the bonuses off the ochre.
Yes, because of the lattice. I can use the higher one, yeah.
All right, strike that, rewind. She gets the emerald lens. So you watch as she begins to crackle with green energy that pulses over her body. Her ghostly apparition form takes on a waxy appearance. And you've invested this lens into her. She's now got 3 lenses invested into her.
Good job, Mukta.
That's my turn, though. That's 4 actions, I believe. So
That is your
Steve's-
turn. It is 4 actions. Jesus.
Steve,
Okay.
sorry. I didn't sustain my fall, so I fell.
No, you flew on your turn, so you're good.
next turn we have to fly again. Otherwise,
Oh, okay.
You have to use at
Oh,
least one
okay.
fly action every turn, or you hit the ground. But you used 2 last turn, so you're good.
Oh, okay.
It's not like using one just to stay up, but like if you don't move, you got to spend the one to stay up. Right?
Okay.
Make more sense.
Mhm.
Cool.
Mhm.
Thank you for checking, though. All right, Hal.
Hal is going to sing out loud and do Inspire Courage with Lingering Composition.
Okay. Make that roll. 29. I believe. Let me see. Is that
Isn't it 28?
BC by level? We are now level 10. So it's still a success, yeah. I think it's only 27,
rounds.
actually.
How many
3
rounds?
rounds. 3.
3 rounds, yeah. It's a success, so 3 rounds.
I'm no longer invincible.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right, Clovis.
Okay, so can we just rewind?
Sure.
Is that okay, Mr. GM?
Well, what's up?
So we're going to rewind right before we came in because, trying to do all that stuff, I had forgot one thing I wanted to do.
What was the one thing?
I was going to do a little ritual. Let me put it in chat. It takes about a minute, so I would have done this before we came in. I wanted to
You
do this
could
on myself.
Now, remember, you guys cast a bunch of bus spells on yourself that
Yep.
had a limited time, right? Like Stone Skin, Death Ward, all of that. If you cast this, then it takes a minute off of those timers.
Okay, because this would have been cast just on myself, not on them. I would have
Right.
done this before while we were sitting around talking.
Right. I'm just because like you guys were outside. You cast
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I don't
on-
know, right? You guys cast Death Proof. You cast Fly. Do any
Yeah.
of those have like what's the shortest time limit on all that stuff? Like Death Ward has how long?
10 minutes. Fly is 5 minutes.
Okay. So, and how long does Vital Beacon last? It lasts all day, right? So you can rewind even further back. You can go ahead and have cast that before, because that has like an all-day duration. So you were able
Yes.
to do that.
Yeah, I would have
way,
done
way
that, like,
back.
earlier. Okay.
We're rewinding way back now at this point, but that's fine.
All right. Appreciate that. Thank
So
you.
you've cast for 1 minute. You cast. What does Vital Beacon look like when Clovis casts it before you go into the empty vault?
Well, as I cast it on myself, I just have this blue aura kind of shooting out around me.
Okay.
I got this aura of this. I'm glowing. So if you guys need to, you can just run back to me and get healed.
Okay. So you're glowing or
Oh,
radiating
nice.
blue energy. You are a beacon of energy that anyone can touch and heal from.
Yep.
Okay. So we retroactively added that. And Clovis, you're here in the empty vault. What would you like to do?
Where did I see, like when I first walked in, can you ping where I saw the stuff bubbling and stuff?
You feel like each one of these green pools of giant water, like set into the ground,
Yeah.
had something bubble up from
Okay.
below the surface and is invisibly above the surface.
Okay, so I guess I'll start with the one closest to me, and I'm going to cast Fairy Fire.
Okay. Go ahead and drop that 10-foot burst where you'd like to put it. So like that right there is good.
Yeah.
All right. So you cast this spell, and when you do that, instantly outlined in a glow, you see a wispy shape appear, no longer invisible but concealed. It looks like a wisp, but bigger, angrier, more sharp teeth and skull, and a little darker than the sort of wisp you're used to. And your glow reveals it, making it concealed but no longer invisible to everyone in your party.
Okay. And then I'm going to stride to that spot.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
All right. So now joining
Oh,
the
boy.
fight, this thing that you've revealed, the perverse soul feeder, since it's no longer invisible, decides to use an ability it has called it's called Dread Flickering. And what it does is, because it can't be invisible anymore, it starts glowing and it puts out this grayish illumination that spreads outwards from it in like this big 20-foot radius around it. It's now visible, It's not concealed at all. And as it moves, it will take its turn to move. It flies about 50 feet to like right here, covering Mukta and Clovis. And you can feel as it washes over you guys, it begins to inflict feelings of doubt, disbelief, fear, and frighten. And if you stay in this, you will have to deal with the effects of what it can do. In fact, it'll just go here. With the third action, it does a draining touch on you, Clovis. All right, draining strike. 19 for a total of 38.
That's a hit, but not a crit.
That is right.
Ooh,
Crit.
nice.
Almost a crit,
Almost.
but not a crit. All right. So it deals a total of 24 points of damage. All negative damage on you.
Okay.
Okay. Over on the other side of the room. Hal, you're looking over, you see this happening, you see the mists and this like fog, this aura of dread, but it doesn't affect you. It's zapping Clovis, and as you're looking from right next to you, from the invisible air like area around you, one of these things zaps at you. Now, you cast Blur, was it? And Blur makes it you're concealed, right?
Right.
So it's a DC 5 flat check.
Yep.
All right, let's roll for the DC 5 flat check. 17. It's going to get through Blur. You will be flat-footed against this. Oops, that's not the right target, but... Hal. A total of 25.
Misses by 1.
It misses.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Woohoo! All these by ones, y'all.
Yeah. So it misses you with its zap. It startles you, and you saw like the square it was in, because it like the lightning zap, the drain kind of came from that square, and you feel it flutter away. But that's these things turn.
Jesus.
Both, I mean, they didn't hit you, so now we get to the real meat and potatoes.
Wasn't Belcorra enough for us? Come on.
Oh boy, so scared right now.
All right, let me just cross-reference my Belcorra strategy guide. My guide didn't include her rolling a natural 1 on initiative and going last and getting injected and basically being screwed. Wow, I mean, this is bad for her. Okay.
Y'all, I'm shaking.
I know.
Woo!
Okay. All right. First thing Belcorra does, she uses her fly. She flies 25 feet straight up. This does trigger an opportunity attack from Nulara.
Okay.
If you'd like to take it.
Yes, please. She's undead, right?
She is definitely undead, yes.
Okay. So that would be 31 to hit.
31 actually hits.
Oh, perfect. So she takes 21 points of damage of everything. And because of disorienting opening, she is flat-footed until the start of my next turn.
Oh.
Nice.
That is good. Okay. So she takes the 21 damage. She flies straight up 25 feet over the top of you guys. And you guys are right now, you're not that high. You're only maybe like you're basically barely over the water because she was just on top of this altar. And as she stands here, she looks down at the two of you, and with 2 actions, she reaches out her hand at Mukta. She casts Dispel Magic.
Shit.
Holy shit.
So, Dispel Magic here, it allows her to make a counteract check against the magic item or the target, right? She has this ability. She can see that you have this magical effect. She can see you flying, so she reaches out. She attempts to counteract the magic that allows Mukta to fly. She has to make a roll. It's not automatic, right? It doesn't just end the effect. It's a counteract check. Hal, what is your spell DC?
29.
So she needs to beat a 29 on this roll. She has, I will tell you, her counteract bonus is plus 25.
Oh boy, come on. 1 to 3.
Oh my god!
That is freaking awesome. I
Oh
hope you
my
keep rolling like that all
God.
night. 'Cause that's gonna be the only chance we have.
Are you effing kidding me? Literally, all she needed was a 4 or higher to counteract
Yeah.
Hal's. Okay, but so here's the thing. Let's check this, right?
That's our mayor. He's too strong.
Let's check this, right? Because this is a failure, but this doesn't mean it's outright. Because when you look at a counteract check, a counteract, sorry, don't count this roll. Just a failure counteracts the target if the counteract level is less than 6. Hal, what spell is what level is your fly spell?
4th.
Since your fly spell is less than 4th, even with the failure, because her dispel magic is level 6 and the spell that you cast is level 4, it still works on a failure because it's less than 3 levels below her spell. Or
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how they count. So boom, Mukta, you feel the magic that's holding you aloft, the flying gives out, and you immediately like fall down and splash into the water below you. Do you have anything that can help you not land prone when you land in the water? I don't. You have a lot of acrobatic stuff.
Other than acrobatics.
Yeah, and CJ's in chat is calling it out. Thanks, CJ, for calling it out. But the counteract has like a range it works on depending on the level of the spell versus the level of the effect.
You don't have catfall or anything like that, Mukta?
No, just the regular.
It's not high enough to take damage from the fall, but you do land like in the water and kind of like prone, splash. This like dirty, swampy water gets over you, and Belcorra is still 25 feet up above you out of your current reach, at least. But this did take her whole turn. Brings us back to the top of the round. Nulara.
Okay, for my first action, I'm gonna continue flying.
Okay.
Okay, and then does it take another action to follow her?
Nope. So if you fly, right? Your fly speed is like
Uh-huh.
30, 35. What's your fly speed right now?
30.
So she only flew 25 feet up. So you can spend a fly action and go up and meet her.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little weird because she's a ghost. I'm giving her this. She can go straight up without issue. You going up is like difficult terrain. So you have two choices. You can either double move and get it automatically, or you can take like the sort of, there's like this acrobatic sort of fly athletics check you can take, which allows you to push your way through the gravity up and try to get there in one move. If you'd like to push yourself.
Yeah, I'd like to push myself.
Okay, so I think it's called maneuver, but let me just double check what the
I mean, like, if it requires a feat, I don't have that, and I
No, this shouldn't require a feat. Let's see. Maneuver in flight is the thing. So this isn't. Let's see. It says it's an acrobatics check for like a steep ascent. So this is gonna be an acrobatics check, standard DC. So the DC for this is only 27.
Okay.
This isn't. There's not heavy winds. There's nothing crazy about this. It's just pushing your way up.
Okay,
and depending on what you roll,
34.
Easy peasy. So you succeed, which allows you to move straight up your 30 feet or 25 feet and get level with her again if you'd like.
Okay. Yes, please.
Perfect. One action, maneuver in flight, ascend up. You're now even with Belcorra.
Okay, perfect. And then I would use 2 of my actions for a power attack with Encora's Blade. So,
Okay.
Mary Chrysler.
Go ahead. Oh, I saw that natural 20 for a
32.
second.
I know. 32 to hit.
It's a hit.
Oh, perfect.
Not a crit. Hit.
She would take 34 points of everything damage.
Yep.
And then for my 4th action, I'm going to raise my shield.
Raise your shield. Okay.
It doesn't automatically like add to my AC when I use the macro for raise my shield.
For raising your shield. It doesn't look like it's actually raising.
Oh, now it does. Earlier it wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see your shield raised right now. Do I?
Yes, I raised it already.
Oh yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah. Perfect.
That's the end of my turn.
All right, Mukta, you're splashing down in the water. Belcorra is about 35 feet above you. Would you like to do something?
I'm going to. You said I'm prone right now?
Yeah, you're prone and in the water. So I don't know how you can really be prone on the water because you're kind of always prone on the water, but you're currently swimming, trying really hard not to like. It's not that deep of a pool, but like deep enough that you can't touch the bottom just standing there.
So I'm going to spend however many actions to get out of this.
Okay.
I need to.
So let's look at swim. Swim as an action. You're gonna make a athletics check.
Right.
This is a DC. It's a standard DC for our level, so there's not hard or anything. So we're talking about DC 27. 22 is a failure, so that's not a critical failure. So you try. I think you're being held down by like the weight of this thing and trying to do it. With the 22, you spend one action trying to swim, and you're unable to make any progress.
So I'm not at like the edge here. I can't try to like grab and pull myself up.
You're just a little. You're short enough that you're just barely out of reach. Like you can't. You're having a hard time maneuvering with this thing and yourself to get there. If you weren't holding this, it'd be really easy. You can let it go, but I think that's the problem. So one action, you try. You're not able to get there.
Try again.
All right, make it again.
This is not great.
The fulcrum lattice is weighing you down, Mukta.
Yeah.
You feel yourself starting to like almost like get pulled under the water.
Yeah,
by
I
the
have to use it. I gotta use a hero point.
hero point. Let's hero point it. First hero point of the night. Good luck. Still one off the. It's still one off the DC for this level, so even with the hero point, you're still 2 actions down and unable to get anywhere. You did get a hero point donated from chat, so you get 1 more hero point back, Mukta. But that's 2 actions down.
They will need them. Mukta and
All right, I'll
Valora.
try it again. Fuck.
There we
Come
go.
on.
So that's a success. You can move 5 feet plus 5 feet for every 20 feet of your land speed. So that's 10 feet or so for you right now. So you can swim 10 feet. You want to get to the center altar. You want to get to the shoreline. Where are you swimming to?
I was trying to get literally here. I'm
Yep.
trying to get
Yep.
like just out of this.
Third action, you climb up out of the water. You're standing on the edge of the shore.
My fourth and final hasted action, I'm going to take my full movement. How come I can't get out of this thing?
Yeah, so like here, you can't get out this way because of the water, right? I think if you wanted to try to squeeze on that ledge or treat it as difficult terrain, I'd let you. But if you go this way, you should be able to. And if you can't do it because the wall's blocking you, then I can help you.
All right, so
Now, if you go this way, right, there's this tiny rivulet of water that kind of goes between your legs. It's tiny enough that you have no problem stepping past it. It's just there, and you're kind of walking over the top of it.
that's my turn.
All right, Mukta, at the end of your turn, can you make a fortitude save for me? Sorry, wait. Yes, fortitude save.
That's at 26.
All right, you can feel this energy the energy of this room trying to sap something out of you, but you resist it, no problem.
Right.
And then as you end your turn there, you can feel the sort of doubt in your mind from this like creature putting off this aura, the whispering in your mind. I need you to make another, this time it's a will saving throw.
Right. That's a 27.
27's a success. You're fine. So you push the whispers, the doubt, this like creepiness out of your mind, and you're good.
All right.
But that is all your actions.
All 4 to get out of that fucking
Yeah.
boat.
Yep. It's very murky, dirty, swampy water, and Mukta, it smells disgusting. You got like little bits of like moss and reeds like just stuck in your fur everywhere. But I mean, if there was any immediate effects to touching it, it's not apparent at the moment. Mukta trying to hold this thing bigger than him, kicking against the water, climbing out of the shore. He did it. It just took him a couple of actions.
I'll touch Mukta and hit him with fly.
Okay,
Nice.
that works. Boom.
Fly, Mukta,
Mukta gets fly.
My turn. I need
All right,
you
you're
need
there.
a fortitude save?
A will save, actually. No fortitude save. So Hal, as you move into this spot, and as you cast the spell and end your turn, you feel, unless you want to use a hero point, because it's a failure.
Yes. I'm going to use a hero
Okay.
point.
Use a hero point. Turn that 22 into a 23. Increase it by 1. Steal a failure. I apologize. You feel fear, doubt starts entering your mind. Everything in your past that you ever doubted yourself on begins to haunt you. And you now are frightened 1.
Is it 24 a success?
No, 24 is still a fail. Still missing it, but you're just getting one more boost. All right.
Yeah, from Inspire Courage.
Does that do
Alright.
saving throws? Wouldn't it have
For fear.
included automatically? Oh, against fear. You're right. Yeah, this is a fear effect.
So Clovis was trying to remember. Do you guys would Clovis remember fighting? I know this thing looks a little different, but the Whispers, were they considered undead, or what their weakness was?
They
when
were
you
not
fought them
undead.
before. They weren't, right?
Like the ones you fought before definitely weren't. These ones look different.
These are not wisps. I don't
You could recall
Yeah,
knowledge if you
so-
want to try to know what you can remember, but you don't know these ones specifically.
Yeah, I will. This little baby, I will cast Acid Splash on it. The one right next to me. 36.
So 36 is a hit.
10 points of acid damage.
Takes the whole thing. Oh, actually, no. I forgot. You go to cast Acid Splash, and as you cast the spell flies at it, and then as it gets close to it, almost like this aura around it just blinks your spell out of existence, and it's completely unaffected by your spell.
Did it look like he's resistant, or did it look like he did something to?
I mean, it looked like he was completely immune to whatever spell you just tried to do. You're talking about you're attacking the wisp right next to you, right?
Yep.
Yep. And you kind of have him flashback to using spells on these things before, and these things interact weird with spells. And
That's right. Okay. I'll raise my shield.
all right, as you end your turn, can you make a will save?
23.
All right. It's actually a 24 because that's how I pointed out with the Inspire Courage. It's +1 to save against fear effects. This is a fear effect. 24 is still a failure. Clovis,
Okay,
you
I'll
are
use my hero point.
Oh, okay. Hero pointed up. 25 boosted to 26 is a success, and you do not
Oh.
take the fear
Nice.
effect.
Nice.
Right.
Whew. Whew,
Thought it
by
was gonna be
one.
another
right?
Beast
failure,
by
man. I
once
was like,
again, guys.
Right? It made a difference.
Okay. And then this thing will let me raise my shield. I'm trying to raise my shield.
Both of these things are like kind of focused on you, right? They were zapping you a second ago. You raise your shield, Clovis, and then almost you can see the one in front of you, like looking at you, and then almost as if it's been like commanded in some way, it stops and it turns and it flitters this way towards Mukta. One action to move to Mukta. Second action is going to be to attack Mukta.
You get scared of my shield?
That's a 35.
Hit, not the crit.
Hit, not a crit. All right. So that's just straight damage. Mukta takes 21 points of negative damage.
Oh, too bad I don't have the emerald lens.
You got rid of the emerald lens,
yeah.
It's alright, the ochre lens has a higher bonus, so I need to use that one last.
All right. And then, with its third action, it uses another attack.
17 is a miss.
17 is a critical miss. All right. And then over here from the
Is this a melee attack? Or is it like a magical attack? Sorry, I didn't know.
that's a good question. It's a magical melee touch. Is it
So
an?
is this something I could use dodge away from?
Yeah, I think so.
So I would have used dodge away then.
Perfect. That allows you to move.
Yes. So it gives me a +1 to AC, which I mean it missed anyway, but it also lets me move up to 10 feet. I can step, and also because I'm a master in acrobatics, I can move 10 feet on this step.
Awesome. So dodge away and step 10 feet. Chat is giving Hal a hero point. So Hal, take another hero point.
So I'm going to fly 10 feet diagonally up.
Okay. I don't think does step allow you to fly. You can't step fly. I don't think.
Carefully, it just says you move 5 feet. It doesn't say what kind.
Yeah. It's true. We didn't allow any of the flying creatures to do step before, but flight is its own thing, right? Like,
If it's not a big deal, I can just move.
it's not gonna get an attack opportunity anyways, right? But I think you got to stay grounded.
Yeah.
So since it's specifically calling out step, I don't think I'm going to allow you to fly, but you can move 10 foot parallel.
I'm just
but
moving
not
10
up.
feet.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm hovering.
You're hovering. I'll allow you to hover. Yeah, that's cool. All right. from the darkness, this creature is going to try to zap you. It's invisible to you, so you are flat-footed.
Goodness.
Let's see. 36.
Hit, not the crit.
Hit, not a crit. That's good for
And
you.
sorry, could I have gone actually here instead? 10 feet there.
You'd be-
5 and then 10.
You could go there. You'd be pressed up right against the wall.
That's where I want to be.
Yep.
For now.
All right, 26 points of negative damage.
All right.
And this thing seems to be attacking from this space, right? So you can kind of see where it is. Oops, this isn't right, but natural one, it's going to fail anyways.
Oh,
You weren't flat-footed for the second one, but yeah. So actually, I guess you were. Either way, natural one completely misses Mukta the second one as you like dip, dodge, dive your way away and press yourself up against the wall.
let's see those Mukta fails in chat.
Mukta fails for the DMs. All right, brings us back to Belcorra.
See why I wanted to go where I was instead of.
All right, Belcorra flies away from you, Nulara. Does trigger an opportunity attack if you'd like to take it.
Yes, please. That will be. Hang on. Didn't take off power attack. There you go.
She flies a little bit up, but not too far up, just a little bit up as she moves away from you.
That will be 40
Ooh.
to hit.
Nice.
That's a crit.
Is it? Holy shit.
Sweet.
Yes.
That is going to be 46 points of everything damage.
Nice.
Belcorra gets 46 points of everything damage. She's looking really, really hurt, by the way.
And she's still flat-footed because of disorienting.
Yes, she
opening.
is. All right, she's flat-footed until the start of your turn.
Sure.
All right. Ooh, let me take off. Okay, so she flies to here. She looks down at Mukta, who's holding the fulcrum lattice.
I'm not hovering. I'm on the ground for sure.
You frightened? You're not frightened or anything, no.
Nope.
Okay. She reaches out, begins casting a spell at you. Yeah, she reaches up, she starts waving her ghostly hands, waving her mouth. She starts chanting this weird spell and casts it right at you, Mukta. All right. Mukta, can you make a will saving throw?
Come on, Mukta!
Alright. I'm hero pointing that for sure.
That's a 5 to a 23, which I will tell you is bad, so you can re-roll.
You got this, Mary Chrysler!
Chat, send him your energy. Oh, that's a clutch hero point right there.
That is a good hero point.
What
You.
was it? What was it?
That's a 36. 18 on the dice. 18 on the dice for a 36 total.
Yep, that turns a failure into a success. So even on a success, there is a little bit of an effect. You begin babbling. These words she starts speaking as she locks eyes with you. She kind of forces herself into your brain, and you start babbling a little incoherently too, and mimicking her words. And you manage to shake out the worst of the effects. You are still stunned 1, so you're gonna lose 1 action on your next turn.
Alright, that's fine.
But it could have been a lot worse had you failed.
Are you still hasted? Good.
Believe it or not, that's the end of Belcorra's turn. Nulara,
Come on, Lara.
Okay, so...
start of your turn. She's
I
not
am-
flat-footed anymore.
Okay, I saw where she went, right? So I'll just be on her ass.
Okay.
This takes more than...
Mukta gets another hero point from
moment.
Dalvin in chat.
So I'll use a sudden...
Thank you, Dalvin.
You can't go in that wall, Nulara, because the wall, even though you're above it, the wall goes from the floor 80 feet to the ceiling.
Oh, this... Oh,
This purple wall. So you can't end
oh no,
on
I'm
this.
right. Oh, okay. But yes, I'll do a sudden charge.
Okay.
So I get 60.
Yep.
And get here.
Perfect.
Ah! Okay, and then that was 2 actions, so I'll be attacking her with Encora's Blade. Mary
Well,
Go for
before
it.
you attack, no,
Oh.
you have to attack with a charge on it. It's alright, go for it.
Yeah, the sudden
Yeah,
charge,
sudden
kind
charge.
of is required as part of the action.
I would say try to bring her down towards us
Yeah,
after you
so-
attack.
okay,
28 is a
I-
miss.
Okay, noted. I don't have a free hand. I was thinking about that earlier.
Hmm.
Can't you push her with your sword? You have to have your sword to push her.
If the sword has the push tag, you could, but it doesn't have the trait to do it with the weapon, so you can't.
Yeah. I was hoping we were going to have a long rest
touch?
before we got in here, but damn.
Or hero point it? No?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm gonna use a hero point. Sorry, I was being
Okay,
asked a
yeah,
lot of
let's hero point
questions.
it. Reroll that.
Okay, that would be a natural 1.
Oh.
I forgot to say Mary Chrysler.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it.
All right, well, that natural 1 ends up, not hitting. Surprise, surprise.
What a waste of a hero
Okay,
point.
and then for my 4th action, I am going to aid Mukta on his next attack.
Okay.
I can't get up towards her yet.
Can't yet?
No, not in time. I don't. She's too far up. If she's 45 feet in the air still.
Okay, I'm going to attack her again with Kortos Blade.
Perfect.
Is she 45 feet up in the air, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, plus haste says you have to use a stride or a strike action, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sudden charge doesn't count for that because you're using 2 actions for sudden charge, right? So
Yeah.
this strike here could be a 4th one, that's fine. Aid wouldn't qualify for haste, yeah. Sorry,
hit.
even with the 23, it's another miss.
23. That's it for my turn.
That was not a good round from Nulara. Mr. Beep Boop gives Nulara a hero point. Thank you, Mr. Beep Boop.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Beep Boop. Beep Boop.
Beep boop, beep boop.
Is that all your actions, Nulara?
Yes, that's it for that's all for my turn.
All right, Mukta.
All right. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, screw it. I'm going to fly over here. That's all right.
All right,
Okay.
you fly away, like you're just staying like level on the ground.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm going to fly over the water.
Yep, no problem. Oh, actually, before I forget, Nulara, can you make a fortitude save for me
Okay,
at the end of your turn?
that would be Mary Chrysler. 28.
28, let's see. All right, here's the thing. This is a fail.
Ooh.
Would you like to use a hero point?
Yes, I would use the hero point from Mr. Beep Bop.
Use the hero point for Mr. Beep Boop. Awesome.
Beep Boop.
Beep Boop Boop Beep Boop. Bring it on.
Mary Chrysler, thank you, Mr. Beep Boop.
All right.
Ha, thank you, Mr. Beep Boop. That's a 39.
39 would be a success, and your ability takes it to a critical success. And once again, you shrug off the effects of this room. Whatever it's trying to do to you does not take. Oh,
God.
Cheese of Justice gives me a stretch for 250 points. I got a stretch.
I think we
All
should
right.
No,
stretch.
we're all
Let's
not
stretch.
thinking right
Ah.
now.
Back to Mukta. So, Mukta, are you flying up at all? So as long as you're not flying like straight up, you can
No.
fly up a little bit as you move, right? So
Yeah, I just want to fly over the water pretty much.
perfect.
I mean,
Yep.
I have the acrobatics, I'm sure, to jump over it, but
Yep. Okay. So you fly over towards there. No problem.
towards Clovis, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to use an interact action to touch him and heal myself.
Perfect. Clovis, how much is it on the first interact?
First
40-10.
interaction is.
I think you're right.
When I
40-10.
roll that,
4d10. Sorry, 4d10
Is
your
it plus anything? Clovis, why don't you go ahead and roll it since it's your effect?
put it in chat.
4d10. Yep. So that's once per round. So this is round 3. So you're using it up for round 3. So you get 22 points of
22.
healing, Mukta.
All right.
So until it gets all the way back around again to round 4, nobody can heal this round.
That's fine. I think I'm the only one who's taking damage.
And Heisenberg
Pretty
also
much.
gives Mukta another hero point.
Oh,
Thank you,
We're
Heisenberg.
coming up on the maximum hero points you can get from chat. I think that's 2 or 3 from chat. It's
Yeah.
3 max per player per session. So
I've taken some damage.
so that's 2 actions, right? Third action, I'm going to stride right here.
okay,
That's my turn.
perfect. You have a quickened action still, right?
No, because you stunned me.
Oh, that's right. Good call. Yeah, I forgot about the
That's why I
stun condition.
That's why I couldn't reach her to be able to try to attack. If I could get up to you, but then
Yeah.
I wouldn't have enough.
Perfect. So the stunned one goes away. You back to your full. You have all your actions again next turn. All right, Hal.
I'm gonna magic missile Belcorra
Ooh, bring it.
Oh yeah.
at 5th level.
5th level, so it's heightened 4, so it's actually at 5th level. It's 3 missiles per action you spend.
Oh,
So how many actions are you spending? All three?
All 3.
9 missiles.
Oh,
Ooh.
shoot those missiles at her. 8.
I'm going to lump it all into like one
4.
set of damage on her instead of like a bunch of little
12.
ones because she has resistance.
15.
19,
This is a lot of freaking missiles.
23.
Look at them all. Look at the animation of just the missiles flying
27.
across
Okay.
and nailing Belcorra in the face. Psh, psh, psh.
Wait, do we want to kill? Do we
32.
want to like destroy her before we put the lens in, or what? Does
I
that
would
work?
lost count 32, 37.
That's
She's a
9.
ghost though, remember?
Oh, that's
All right, so let's add it up. 8, 12, 15, 19, 23, 27, 32, 37 points. She's resistant 10, so I'll lump it all up and she takes 27 points of damage total. Which hurts her quite a bit.
That's my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, the frightened 1 condition goes away, but you're also still in the aura, so I need another will save. I guess you would have the -1 on the will save until the end of your turn. It's kind of like overlaps a little bit, so.
Yep, exactly. And then I get a +1 from courage,
Yep. So it balances out.
and I fail.
All right. So you get frightened 1 back. I guess, would that mean it grows to frightened 2? Or did it just go up and then down? I think it goes up and then back down, so you just stay frightened 1. All right.
Does the resistance apply to force damage?
Let me double check. No, it doesn't actually. Good call.
Oh, nice.
So she takes the
Thank you.
full.
Cheese of justice.
Yeah, you're right. It's force damage. I forgot. It says all, and at the beginning it says except force, but then it has this huge list of all the stuff it's resistant to. At the very beginning, it's just like except force, right? Yeah. So that puts her near death.
Ooh.
Killer.
Clovis.
Well, now, I was gonna try something, but don't kill her, huh?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, you guys can do it.
Why do we know don't kill her?
It's true.
He's a ghost.
The ghost with the most. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I wouldn't know. So, I am going to on Belcorra. I'm going to cast Syrian Light.
All right.
Oh, by the way, hang on. I don't even know what the roll is yet, but I cast. What is it? Energy. Sorry.
Oh, your new meta magic feat.
Yeah. What is it? Enhance. Overwhelming energy, just in case.
Okay. And that allows you to spend 1 action and push through like how much resistance?
Just. Let me go back to it.
Equal to your. So you can ignore 10 resistance to this damage if she has it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
What
cool.
did you roll?
29.
A 29 is a miss.
Yeah.
But more than that, I want to take a moment here, right? There's a little flashback scene right here, right? To a couple of days ago when you were fighting Belcorra in the Drow city of Yuldaris. And as she came in to torment the citizens, you unleashed a searing what's it called? Searing light?
Yeah.
On her in that fight and blasted her for a ton of damage, right?
Yeah.
And so there's a quick flashback to you doing that. And then it shifts back in time, kind of fast forwards, and she's in the empty vault, and she's looking for the wisp eyes as you come up around the corner. And as she's watching that, internally, Belcorra sees you coming, begins to cast a spell, and she casts, as she's mumbling some incoherent magical words, and she utters the word searing light, and she glows with a glimmer of energy as she puts up a protective spell, making her immune to the spell searing light.
Oh.
shit.
Well,
God.
technically, she gets a counteract check. What's your spell save DC, Clovis?
It is
It's a miss, right? So would we know?
That's true.
31.
So with her
Oh,
counteract
boy.
check of 41, before you even miss, you just watch as this zoom. It just your spell fizzles out as she laughs and just like pushes the magic away from you. She counteracts your spell before it has a chance to miss.
Okay.
So even if you had hit, it would have missed.
Ah! I remember last time that was a killer. All right, so that with my action to cast the
That's true.
resistance, that's my turn.
All right, make a will save for me at the end of your turn.
Phobos.
Success, no problem.
29. Nice.
All right.
Plus 20.
Go get your
Nice.
shot, Mukta.
Zipping around the stone to find Mukta on the other side. the Soul Feeder continues his torment. And we'll start with the move, Draining Touch attack.
Dodge away.
Okay, dodge away, 35.
Still a hit.
Hit, not a crit, right?
Yes.
All right, you're going to take 25 points of negative damage.
All right.
Third action, it's going to do it again. 27 is a miss. This one floats over, and you feel it doing the same thing. You are flat-footed because this one's invisible. Draining Touch attack, second action. 34. Hit, not a crit. 18 points of negative. And second attack,
Miss.
20 to hit is a miss, and you get out of the way of this one, even flat-footed. All right, that's both of the Soul Feeder's turns. Now, Belcorra, close to death. All right, one action. Okay, here's what she does. First action. Hello, murder hobos and choco bros. Thank you for joining us on this epic kind of conclusion fight. So Belcorra on her turn looks at Nulara, uses a verbal action to cast Shield. No, it does not. It's not a manipulate. It doesn't take any kind of thing, so you don't get an opportunity attack for that. Then uses an action to fly back away from you.
Yes, please. I would like to take an opportunity attack.
Okay, you can take the opportunity attack. She has the shield up. She's able to move away from you.
Need her alive.
I mean, do we really know that?
Hero point from chat for Nulara.
Because remember the last time we did a ghost, they have a chance to come back unless their purpose is...
Don't know. I mean, at this point, maybe it's better to see what happens if we destroy her.
Okay. All right. No, I'll take it.
Okay, go for it.
So that would be Mary Chrysler.
We could shove this right into
A
the
natural one.
A natural one. You have a hero point.
You have a hero point.
You just got one from chat.
Yes, I will use a Chiro point. Chiro point.
Hero point.
Yes, a
Your
Chiro
name.
point.
Use
It's
that,
now called Cheeto points.
use that hero point,
Okay.
re-roll that natural one. It can't get any worse. Like, literally can't get any worse.
Mary Chrysler! I forgot. At 32.
32 is a hit.
Okay, sweet. So that would be 30 points of everything damage.
Okay, so you slash through Belcorra as she goes away. She use her reaction to use the shield, which absorbs the hardness of the shield becomes, let's see, 6. So it's a hardness of 15. She reduces your damage by 15.
Mhm.
Her shield spell shatters as you cut through it, and your blade, with the Ghost Touch rune, hits this ghost, cuts through her, and Belcorra disappears and dies in a wisp of magical energy, just gone. And instantly you feel a humming in your hand, Mukta, as you look down in the lenses, and the crimson lens and the emerald lens are back in your thing. You're reinvested into those, and Belcorra like disappears into nothingness. Clovis, you're probably the one that has the best view on this at the time, because you're the only one that can see the center altar. As you're standing here looking at, you can see out of the corner of your eye the center altar with this black stone on it. It begins to quiver, shake. You can see swirling inside of the stone are 3 slivers of dark energy, and one of the slivers begins to swirl faster and faster and then disappears, and instantly Belcorra reforms at full strength on top of the altar.
Fuck, you called it, man. You called
Yeah,
it.
now we know.
Insolence! But she is now invested in only the one lens.
Okay.
So I will get rid of the green and the green. So now,
Mhm.
just got the one. She is no longer dead, so let me take that off her. But that's her turn. She lost her whole turn dying and reforming. Nulara.
That sucks.
Would I know that she's back
She
Ask
screamed
her.
loud enough you can hear,
Okay.
and the look in Clovis's eyes tells you all you need to know.
So I'm
Okie-
invested in all 3 lenses right now, right?
You are back and invested in all the lenses.
Okay, cool.
You want me to take one of the? I can't. I'll give you. Yeah.
All right, Nular.
Alrighty. We'll do this again. Sudden charge to get to where we were.
You're like all over again. Go ahead.
Oh wait, I can't get through this wall though, right?
You can go around it, but yeah,
Okay. Well, I'll do this thing.
you got a crazy. That was a crazy move pattern, by the way. Are you showing off now?
No. Well, kind of. She loves flying.
Yeah.
Here we go. Right
ahead.
there. What is this? Oh. Okay, and then I'm going to attack her. Where is she?
Oh,
This one? I don't see her on my map. Oh, okay.
right in the blue light of the gauntlet. Sorry, I still had her hidden.
Okay. So, Mary Chrysler. That would be a 34 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay, that would be 33 points of everything damage.
Perfect. It all takes into her.
So 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'll take another attack on her.
Okay.
Mary Chrysler.
Don't you know this does nothing?
34.
It hit?
I know, but I learned. 34
It
to
hits?
hit. Okay, that would be 24 points of everything damage.
Yeah. You've dealt a ton of damage to Belcorra.
Okay, and then for my 4th action, I mean, I can't aid. Aid has to be the last action, right?
Not necessarily, no.
Could my 3rd be aid and then my 4th be the attack?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll aid Mukta for his next attack,
Perfect.
since this is like deja vu.
Perfect. All right.
That's the end of my turn.
Mukta. You can feel all the energy invested in you again.
I don't even know what the Crimson Lens does.
It kind of makes you not very charming.
Right. And it gives you like increased damage on your claw attacks and jaw attacks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe all melee attacks? I forget.
If you hold it, yeah, when you're holding it. Like, you have to hold it and then, like, smack him in the face. Oh, wait, no, just holding with one hand.
So she's just right there, right?
Yeah, she's right there.
So, alright. If I was here, right? Or was I here? It's there. I'll go 10 feet.
Yeah. Flanking with Nular.
1 action. 2nd action, I will put the Crimson Lens into her using the Ochre Lens's attack.
Let's do it. Nulara, you're aiding. Use your reaction to make the aid roll.
Okay, that would be Mary Chrysler.
Mary Chrysler.
32.
That's a critical success, Mukta. You get a +2 circumstance bonus. She's flat-footed. That's a -2 circumstance penalty. You also get all the bonuses.
That's +2, so 33.
And which lens are you investing?
Crimson Lens.
Perfect. In one quick motion, vroom. Again, the Crimson Lens is forced into Belcorra. Oops, wait, I put it on you for some reason.
Is that the same one you put into her first last time, or is this a
No,
other
this
one?
is the one we
This is
put
the
into
very
her
first
in
one.
The drow, with the drow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're back to
Oh,
before
the very,
square
very
one.
first. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's right.
And then 3rd action, or 4th action, sorry. I will fly over here.
Okay.
Freaking frustrating.
That's my turn. That's 4
All right.
actions.
At the end of your turn, can you make a Fortitude saving throw?
Right. That's a 26.
Just enough. It's a success.
Right.
Nice.
All right, that brings us to Hal.
All right, I'm going to use 1 action to sing with lingering composition.
Okay, finally, it just wore off, so that's good. That's a 1 round, right? Are you doing lingering?
Yeah, linger it.
Sorry, yeah. Go ahead and make that performance check. Critical
Let's
success. 4 rounds.
What's that roll?
41.
41. Thank you, Rick.
Nice roll.
And, will it require a perception or perceived action to see if Mukta's all, like, covered in wax again?
I think you've spent enough time with him. It's pretty apparent. I'm not going to force you to spend an action on that.
Okay. I think I'm going to. Damn.
Tough call.
I know. I'm looking at my spell slots and
Sorry.
looking at all these things, and I'm just like, should I do that? Should I do this?
So we know damaging her is not a priority right now.
Nope.
That's all I can do.
Doesn't do us any good. You got to get the lenses
Because
in.
I
her.
can't. There's no
Gotta
ghost touch in my hands.
You got to get rid
Yep.
of these other
Right.
little bastards.
Unless we give you the lens.
Can.
True. Does it take time to invest, or is it an action, or in
It's an
combat?
action. I think it's just an action, yeah.
Maybe each of you take a lens on.
No, we need to use the lens.
I think I'm going to hit Mukta with Enervation.
Okay.
What's that?
All right, here's a question: can I choose to fail this? I know in the other game, you can choose to fail.
Can you choose? Well, let's put it this way: you've never seen this spell cast before, right? And Hal's using this for the first time. Is there a flashback where you guys came up with this strategy, and you just tell him to fail, and you can submit you to that willpower? Yeah, of course, I'll let you fail.
All right, can I critically finish?
I'll allow you to automatically fail if you want to critically
No,
fail.
actually, no.
It'll be a roll.
No, because I don't know what drain does. Let me see
Use
what
a
drain
hero
does.
point to fail.
Okay. So you
No,
fail.
I don't want to critically fail. I'll just regularly fail. Even with a success, I'll take.
So how it's a 30-foot line, right? Why don't you draw that line so we can see what else it's gonna get? You should be able to
I'll
place.
fail.
Like there's a if you do this, it'll hit just Mukta. If you do this, you can get one of the creatures, or you can hit Clovis too if you want.
I don't know if they're immune to life draining energy. So
Right? Yeah. You want to just hit Mukta?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. There goes that enervation energy.
Sparkles.
All right, so I'm
Spray.
drained 1, right?
Yep. You take 48 negative persistent damage. So at the end of your turn, you'll take 48 damage. But you negative damage, and you currently have negative healing, so it will heal you at the end of your turn, and you become
shit.
drained 1.
Yeah, I put that on my token already.
Drained. Status penalty equal to your drain value on Constitution-based checks such as Fortitude saving throws. You lose hit points equal to your level, so you lose 10 hit points from that, 10 max hit points, and your drain value includes yeah. So okay, you just become drained, but it is going to heal you at the end of your turn at least. So
At the end of my turn, not right now. All right.
persistent damage always goes at the end of your turn.
Okay.
Well, let me think. Persistent at the end of his turn, and he doesn't take any right now.
Right.
Not sure that's going to help.
I mean, if he's dead, taking persistent damage, it should bring him back to life, right?
It's kind of true.
Is he no longer invested, though?
I think you're invested until you're dead, but if you're unconscious, you're probably still invested.
Okay.
So
That's
this
my
is like I
ruling.
can never die while I'm holding the Emerald Lens with persistent damage.
That's kind of true. Unless you make the save against the persistent save at the end of your turn. Is
Okay.
that everything, Hal?
Yep.
We'll roll with it, see how it goes.
We're rolling with it. All right, Clovis.
Roll them. Okay, I'm just going to try this with the hail. I'm going to cast Overwhelming Energy, and I'm going to target. I'm going to get the little guy over here. And I'm going to do Disrupt Undead on that one.
Okay. How you can also you can reduce the frighten condition on yourself because the turn ended and you haven't been in the aura. So which one are you? Who are you doing? You're doing Disrupt Undead on who?
On
This one back here.
Yep, the one I'm targeting.
Yep. So you reach out with your magical energy. You try to touch this thing with undeadness. You go to cast Disrupt Undead, and it doesn't do a thing. Whether it's the fact that it's not an undead, or whether it's the fact that it has immunity to this spell, being one of these creatures that is weird with spells, you're not sure.
Yep, even with the Overwhelming Energy, huh? It wouldn't.
I mean, you use Overwhelming, it puts it in, you're putting everything in to get through any sort of resistance. It doesn't seem to break through whatever's protecting it.
Okay.
It also,
Right.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's all I'll
Yeah.
give you.
All right. Know what I need to do next round.
That's all your actions, right?
Yes.
All right, you need to make a will save at the end of your turn. You're still in the aura of that thing.
22.
That's going to be a failure.
Let me have it.
All right, You become frightened 1. All right. Comes to the Soul Feeder's turn. Now the Soul Feeders want to go towards Mukta, but almost like they are being sort of commanded or know the reality in some way. They recognize this emerald lens. They recognize the effects, and they realize that they cannot actually do anything to you because it won't work, right? They've been there, Belcorra. They're part of Belcorra's plan. They know what these things do. So,
Mukta's like, hit me.
Like, hit me. Come on.
right? Yeah, you want to get hit.
Pussies.
So, this one flitters over here. Well, no, you know what? I'm gonna do it the meanest way I can. This one's gonna stay where it is, and it's gonna attack you, Clovis. It's invisible. You can't see it, so it gets advantage. Not advantage. Sorry, flat-footed on you.
What's that word?
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, I'm down to 28 AC. How? Now I know why. I'm flat-footed.
37.
F for flat-footed.
That's a critical hit, right?
Yep. Did my AC just go down to 26?
You're flat-footed.
You're flat-footed.
Yeah. You're flat-footed because they were.
No, I know, but
invisible.
normally I'm 29 is my AC, so 3.
You're frightened.
Oh, the frighten on top of it. Damn it. Yep.
All
Well,
right,
that's
critical hit.
Definitely a critical.
This does 38 points of negative damage to you. And as this sucks your life force out, because it's a critical hit, you as well, like Clovis and Mukta now, are also drained 1. And your maximum hit point reduces by 10. And you can just feel yourself getting weaker from these fortitude. Like your constitution's draining out of your body. And seeing with its first action as you're hit with that, this thing gets exciting. And it will next... Nope, it's going to use its second action actually to just hit you again. It was right next to you. 21.
Nope.
Misses. And its third action, it's going to use a thing it has called Feed on Despair. Because you have the drain condition now, and you've been marked. Clovis, can you make a Fortitude saving throw for me?
Fortitude?
Which compounds with your...
And that would be, I'm sure, a fail. 26?
26 is actually a success.
Oh, hey.
So the good news is, because he used this ability, he now is visible. He's no longer invisible. He comes back, and he too has this sort of dread flickering sort of ability. And it now is visible and affecting everything around it. But you are going to take... It's a basic save, so you take half this damage. You take 8 points of negative damage. And it gains a bit of life, but it actually is full health, so it doesn't matter. All right.
Okay.
The other one flies and flanks you, Clovis. You stay flat-footed. It uses Draining Touch with its second action on you. 25.
Misses.
By 1. It misses by 1. And then it uses its Feed on Despair again, and you need to make a Fortitude saving throw.
Ready? That is
20.
a 20.
Do you have a hero point?
No, sir.
All right. So that's a basic... A 20 is a fail, but not a critical fail, so you take full damage. That's 16 points of negative damage. And that they continue to feed on your despair, Clovis, and you looking pretty rough. Go back to Belcorra. Belcorra, sitting in the middle of this chamber, gets injected with the crimson lens. Is like, enough. Flies away from New Lara, which can trigger an opportunity attack.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay,
Mary Chrysler.
that's it.
33 to hit. Okay. 30 points of everything.
All right, she
damage.
goes back down into the badly injured territory. Your opportunity attack can't interrupt moves, just interacts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't a critical hit anyways.
Yes, no.
All right.
It's a certain feat to like have them stop.
Got it. Okay. She spins around here and she comes and she drops a Phantasmal Calamity.
Oh.
I mean, technically this affects herself if she drops it on herself. So she can't... I mean, she doesn't really want to drop it on herself. So, she'll drop it.
Oh, yeah, because you're stunned.
She'll just drop it on this half of the room here. This whole edge of the room fills with visions of horror as, just like happened before when she used it against you, all of you guys start being shown your demise, your destruction. New Lara, you're back in the cabin. The woman sitting there. The cabin is burning around you, and somebody holds you there, holding you down on your knees, watching her burn alive. Clovis,
Damn it.
the forest rotting around. Hal, they're dragging Caroline away to execute her. Mukta, sweet Mukta. Rita, again betraying you like you knew she would. I need all of you to make will saving throws. This 100% is... Oh, actually,
38 for
surprisingly, this
Clovis.
is a mental effect, but not emotional. Do you have a bonus against
Yeah,
mental
Chrysler.
effects? Yeah, this unfortunately is not considered an
Yeah,
emotional
Chrysler.
effect, so it won't count for the lens. So 38 from Clovis is good. 27 from New Lara. You were not in the range because she didn't drop in the middle of the room, so you're good. Sorry,
okay.
I should have been. Yeah, you wouldn't have got that vision. I apologize. You do not see anyone burning alive.
Oh boy. Yes.
24 for
Mukta.
Hal is going to be a failure, but luckily not a critical failure.
Does this have a whatchamacallit? Auditory or visual trigger?
Unfortunately, it does not.
Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna
Nope.
use a hero point.
You got a hero point from chat?
Yep.
You must be running low. I don't know how many hero points you got from chat, but we're getting to the nitty
I
gritty.
have-
Make that reroll.
My last one.
Okay. I just know that chat can only give 3 per session, so I'm not sure where we're at on that. But
27.
27 still a failure. So you all take 26
Okay.
points of mental damage. No, that's sorry. So success would take half that. Success would only take 13 points of mental damage, and you are resistant to some level of that, right, Mukta? So you take 3. Hal's going to take 26. Clovis is going to take 13.
The mummified bat.
But nobody got critically failed, so the illusion gets put in your mind, hurts you, and then it pushes out. Oh, actually, I have to put it on her creatures too.
No.
Failure, and
Hey, they finally get hit.
failure and success. So this one takes half damage. This one takes full damage, and wow, that didn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. You guys rolled pretty good.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah. And then Belcorra technically is inside this thing, so she has to make a will save at the end of her turn against the fear effect of the wisps, which is kind of hilarious. Critical success. She shrugs it off. All right, so this brings us to the top of round 5. So let's rewind for a second. This is where we're going to go to break. 5 rounds. We're at the top 5 rounds of combat. It's 9 o'clock. We're getting to the nitty gritty. You guys were so close, and then pulled back. Jaws snatched, but you're almost there. We just got to get those things invested in her. So
We got this. We got this.
we're going to take a 10-minute break right now. It is currently 9:04. Let's come back at 9:15 to close out the rest of the night. Just to point out, this is the 5th round of combat. Anything that lasted a minute is getting right towards the end of it. I don't know what you guys had that lasted a minute. Quicken, maybe? Haste?
My cheetah's elixir.
Cheetah elixir.
We got what? 4 more rounds on haste.
Would be... Oh, yeah, 10 rounds. Yeah, you're right. You still got plenty. You're halfway through it. So, 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is where I normally plug like all of our stuff to go look, but we're so mentally drained, I'm not even going to plug it.
Yeah.
We'll take a 10-minute mental break, chat. Come back.
We will, Dalvin. Hang on a second.
Yeah, Dalvin says, come on. Set my alarm at 4 a.m. to watch this. You need to win. I believe in you guys. Come back in 10 minutes.
All right.
And we are back. When we left off, we were at the top of round 5 of combat. Belcorra had been so close to the brink and then defeated. And now the clock starts again as we must reinvest from scratch. Currently invested with 2 out of the 4 necessary lenses because we've learned killing her just recharges her. During the break, or right near the end of the break, I don't know if you guys saw, Lynx gave Clovis, Hal, and New Lara a hero point. Mukta, you've already reached your chat limit.
Ooh.
You've already got all 3 from chat today. You got 2 stocked at least, but chat can
Thank
no
you
longer
out
get
there.
any more.
Appreciate
So,
that.
Thank you, Lynx, for that. He said he's
Yeah,
got to
Lynx.
stop hoarding those coins.
Thanks, Link's Kutch.
Yep.
So, at the top of the 5th round of combat, New Lara.
Okay, so Mukta's about to die. Yeah. I'm thinking like, do I grab it off of you, or are you just gonna give? You're gonna give it to me, right? Okay, so I'm going to use my 30 feet to get to Mukta. Attempted token. Oh, I'll collide with a wall.
These two purple things are walls. So where are you trying to go?
Because I'm gonna have to go past her. Ah, okay.
Well, you can fly, so you can go above or below her, or and stuff.
Okay, yes. Yes, please.
You got the
I'll do
vertical
that.
space, so you're good.
Vroom.
Yep.
And then for my second action, I will grab the ochre lens from the lattice.
Okay, so you want to fly. So one action to fly all the way to Mukta, one action to grab the ochre lens and pull it out of the lattice and put it in your hand. Well, now you have to have a free hand, right? You do have
nimble shield hand from my bastion dedication.
Right, that allows you to use an interact.
Right.
So you now have it in your shield hand, behind your shield. Perfect.
Yes, sir. And then for my third action, I am going to try and infuse her with it.
Unfortunately, I think
I
Mukta's like at ground level, and she's flying like 10 feet above you, so you can't.
Do I have to invest?
You also got to spend an action to invest into it. Yeah, that's true.
1, 2. Okay,
She would be in range if she was in 5 feet between Mukta and
yeah. So
Nulara
I have Belcorra
and Belcorra.
That's true. She could be flying and grabbing it.
Yeah,
right?
I have a Belcorra at 10 feet, and Mukta's on ground level. But I guess technically, if Nulara positions herself right between the two, she'd be able to grab it and then turn around and place and do it, which I think is reasonable. But unfortunately, you're not invested in it, so you can't take the action until you spend an action to invest in it.
Okay, so how many actions have I taken already?
2.
2. Okay, third action, I'm going to invest in it.
And which one are we investing in?
The ochre lens.
The ochre lens. Okay, so Mukta keeps the emerald lens effect.
Okay.
What is the effect of the ochre lens again? Oh, we'll see in a second.
Is it?
Mukta, are you still flying? Still able to fly?
Yep.
Oh, I got it. Okay, so that would be a plus. Will saves too. Oh, your girl needs it. But no, I'm going to hit her with it, infuse her with it. So that's a plus 20.
2 actions to do that.
Oh, 2 actions? Okay, so I'm holding it already.
You have it ready to go now, and it's charging you, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll move.
No.
Right.
It's just one of your actions, yeah. That is correct.
So I move. Okay, I'll raise my shield. It's not really gonna do much. It doesn't attack me.
That's true.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll get away, Mukta. I'll go right. I'll fly right here.
Okay. You
Yeah.
fly right back under her and go back to there.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, can you make a fortitude save for me?
Okay, that would be Mary Chrysler.
Oh.
A natural 20.
Ooh,
Like, barely even feel it. You've spent so much time around this like chamber, whatever it's been trying to do to you. No problem for you. Critical success. No effect.
That's the end of my turn.
All right. Latitude-wise, because she's floating 10 and you're flying under her, are you like even with her? Are you below her a little bit?
I'm a little bit above her, so like 15.
Okay. Sweet. Mukta.
Oh boy. This is an interesting pickle.
Yes, it is.
Alright. Not yet. One round. We're gonna try this. So
Okay.
I'm not going to die quite yet.
The hero sacrifice would have been an awesome play.
Next round.
Mhm.
Okay.
Alright. So I'm going to fly up
Okay.
5 feet, so I'm within 5 feet of her.
Yep.
For one action.
Yep.
Second action. I'm gonna do this first. I really want the spell strike, but I think this will be more useful. Oh, do I have to have 2 hands to do this? Sorry, guys.
Good checking.
No worries.
For those of you at home that are just joining us, they're trying to take these magical crystals they have, these lenses, and invest them into Belcorra to ultimately spell her demise without killing her, because they killed her once and it erased all the progress and they had to start over. So it's a game of chess now. How do we get these slivers of energy into her without her dying, without dying themselves? So that's very tense for the players.
Yeah.
That takes 2 action, I think, to use that as well. So okay, let me ask you this first. I'm holding the lattice with 2 hands, right?
Uh-huh.
Do I have to hold it all the time with 2 hands, or that's just to use it? Can I put one hand down just to like hang for a moment and then do something?
So I will let you do that. So here's the thing with like changing your grip. To let go is free action, takes nothing, right? To grip it again takes an interact action to put your grip back onto it. But I will let you do that. I think to use it effectively it takes 2 hands, but you could take your hand off for a second, do something, and get it back on by the end of your turn, and I'll allow that. I think it's reasonable. That's like called changing your grip, is like an interact action. What are we doing?
Do I do the smart action or do I do the cool action?
Cool.
Screw it. I'm gonna get some health at the end of this turn anyway. So, you see Mukta drop the lattice with one hand, and I start an incantation, right?
Okay.
And the shadows around my hand darken, and the Belcorra's shadow darkens as well. Even though she's a ghost, she starts to cast this ethereal shadow. And you see my hand try to swipe something from her shadow. And I'm going to cast Umbral Extraction.
Umbral Extraction.
what's
Look at the
that?
spell text. It's so big.
Serious.
I'll give you the short end of it, is that he basically tries to steal some of her essence, and he can steal spells and spell slots from Belcorra.
Ooh.
I can attempt a thievery check to steal
Holy
the spell from
shit.
her.
Yep, so this is and because he's a thievery check and he's a rogue. So this is right up his alley. This is like Mukta's forte. So it's a thievery check and it's against it's against like
Just a normal. It's just a steal action. So it's whatever. It's a.
oh yeah, just make a normal
Level
thievery
DC?
check, yeah.
Sorry guys if this kills us, but I have to try it at least once.
So this is the steal action. Stealing targets a perception
37.
DC
Come on.
of the creature. Belcorra's perception is DC would be 32, so that is a success.
Yes.
Woo!
Good job,
You
Mukta.
steal the item from the bearer.
Let's go!
Drunken fat kid, thanks for following.
So what if she has no spell slots available that are level 1? It's whatever spell slot she has.
She has 1 and 2. Is it start at the low level only? Umbral Extraction is what
It's
level?
1 level lower than Umbral Extraction,
And this
unless
is
I got a
second-
critical success.
So it's a 2nd level spell?
yeah, so it's
All
level
right.
1.
Can you roll a d4
First
for
level.
me?
Yeah.
So you go into her and you pull out your shadowy form connects with her shadowy form, and you kind of pull out this weird sort of arcane energy. She takes 1d4 mental damage, right? Yeah.
10 per level, right? Is it per his level or per the spell level?
It says if you see that your check 1d4 mental damage per level of the spell stolen.
Spell
So
stolen.
the first level
yeah.
spell. So roll another d4 for the damage she takes. As you pull this sort of like magic, it kind of interweaves with you, Mukta, right? 3. Okay, perfect. You'd like 3s. You get a spell called Spider Sting, and you get a first level spell slot in which you can cast it. So
Alright.
you basically deal 1d4 piercing damage to the touched creature, and you can try to inject it with spider venom.
Alright.
And as you do this and
Try to
touch her and
spell.
steal it from her, she like spins on you like with like a ferocity like no other. How dare you steal from me? Oh wait, do you have a thing where she doesn't notice? I thought we had.
I mean, I think I beat her perception, so she wouldn't even notice me stealing it from her.
That is true. You steal the item with the bearer noticing. Yeah, she doesn't even know. She doesn't realize what you've done. It just feels weird to her. So, what have you done? So that's it.
And so
Full action prevails.
for my 4th hasted action, I'm going to fly over there.
Okay. I like it.
Fly away,
Wait,
Mukta, fly
At
away.
the end of my turn, Hal, could you roll 4d8, please?
It'll roll it automatically because I added the persistent effect to you.
Oh, you did?
Oh
Perfect.
wow, that's
So,
cool.
You're going to take 16 points in negative damage, but because you're vested in the Emerald Lens, you get 16 points of healing. Now, can you make the recovery check for me? Click that recovery check DC 15 button in the chat window. It should do it.
Fail it.
Oh, come on.
Yep, the persistent effect falls off. The one time you don't want it to, and it does. That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Huh.
Maybe it's for the better.
All right, but that does bring us to Hal's turn. Oh, sorry. At the end of your turn, Mukta, can you make a fortitude save for me?
Oh, now I roll low.
21. Any hero point? This is a fail.
I will use a hero point, yes.
Perfect.
With
Make it
Mayor
worthwhile.
Chrysler.
You can do it, Mukta.
Said fortitude?
Fortitude, yeah. Which is, the drain condition is compounding this fortitude save, which is making it even harder.
And how do I get the drain condition off? If I made the check, does it go away?
No, the drain stays until you take a long rest.
Ah, perfect.
It lasts and lasts, or a spell is cast that removes it. 23. Let's see, you were here. A 23 on this check is it's enough. You just barely made it. Congratulations.
Good hero point.
Woo!
Good hero point. Hal.
I'm gonna cast Soothe on Clovis, first level.
Okay.
11 healing.
Yep, Clovis, you get 11
Sure.
healing.
And I will move away.
Get out of that fog cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my turn.
Clovis.
All right. Clovis is going to start by touching himself and healing 4d8.
This will be 4d8 for touching. When I think about you, I touch myself. Wow. 20 points of healing.
Nice.
And then I am going to cast on myself Wild Shape.
Okay.
And I am going to transform into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, jeez. All right, so where tiny Clovis was, instantly you flash. This is a huge dinosaur. You turn into the T-Rex form. This is not the first time you turn into a T-Rex, but you now stand and tower over the top of the creatures that you were surrounded by. But you're now a big hulking Tyrannosaurus Rex. Very nice.
That's it. That's my turn. That's 2 to Wild Shape, and I healed myself, so...
All right. These soul feeders continue to feed on your drain. So the first one is going to float over here to flank you, Clovis. And then second action to strike. 22 will miss. And with the third action, it feeds on your despair. I need you to make a fortitude saving throw. 28 is a success. You take half of this. So you take 9 points in negative damage. All right, this one over here is already in position. First attack, draining touch on you. 24 is a miss by 1.
Oof.
Maybe we should just pass around the Emerald Lens to
Yeah.
distance so these things don't hit us anymore.
Second attack is going to be a 31, which is going to hit, but not a crit. So you're going to take 24 points in negative damage. And then the last thing, I need a fortitude saving throw from you, as it does the feed on despair again. 26 is a success. You'll take half damage. Wow, that's pretty low. 9, so you take 4 points of negative damage. And then each one of these 2 is going to heal based on the damage they deal to you. All right. Belcorra. All right, let me go back to my strategy sheet. Nulara's holding the lens right next to her, right above her. All right. First action, Belcorra says, I'm done playing around, reaches her ghostly hand out, and begins interacting from across the room with the black Ebon stone that's on the altar. And you watch as the stone begins shaking again, and one of the little black slivers inside, there's 2 left, begins swirling as she begins pulling this energy towards her. This is an interact action. You could interrupt it, Nulara.
Okay. I will. That would be.
Can't use the 2-action thing for attack of opportunity, huh?
No, unfortunately, you can't.
Mary Chrysler, come on, crit it! Mary Chrysler! 43 to hit?
That's a critical hit and actually interrupts her
Ooh.
doing her thing.
Sweet.
Jesus
Don't kill her.
criminy. That's an amazing move right there.
Okay, can this be non-lethal damage?
No, your weapon does not have the non-lethal trait. You cannot deal non-lethal damage with it.
Dang! Don't want that.
All right.
29 of everything.
All right, hurts her quite a bit. Doesn't kill her,
Right?
but the critical
Okay.
hit. She goes to pull the energy, and you slam into her, and it disrupts what she's doing, and
Ooh.
zoom, the crystal stops shaking, and she wastes 2 actions trying to draw energy from the crystal.
Okay,
You roll
sorry,
a
it
crit
was a
damage.
critical, so it's 58.
Oh.
This is the only time I don't want to do it.
Okay. I don't think it's gonna kill her.
She's not dead. Really, really close, but not dead.
Okay.
Whew.
Do not hit her anymore.
I'm trying not to.
Now-
I just wanted to stop the spell.
Now this angers her, so she spins on you. She uses a meta action to quicken her spell.
Ooh.
She does quicken casting because she was a sorcerer in life. She's allowed to cast if she does a 4th level spell or lower, she can reduce it by 1 action, not less than 1. And with her second action, she targets your hand. You're holding this ochre lens in your hand, right? And she casts telekinetic maneuver to disarm it from your hand and send it flying.
Oh, man. I've heard of this before.
Gee,
My
if only
friend
somebody
has
else.
it.
So
Had it.
this is it's against your reflex save.
We learned from a friend. Yeah.
She rolls a 2 on the dice. That's a 27. What's your reflex save, Nulara?
My reflex save is reflex 28.
So she casts a spell on your hand, and you watch as you almost lose grip as she tries to force the lens out of your hand, flying across the room, lost somewhere far, and you just barely hold on to it with the tips of your fingers and hold it there. And in this turn, you've disrupted what she wanted to do twice, and you're face to face with her, and that's the end of Belcorra's turn. Nulara.
Do it.
I am the champion of Pharasma, and then I'll use 2 actions to infuse the ochre lens on her. So that's plus 21, plus 21.
Roll a plus 21. I think also you can use if your
My
weapon attack
trident?
rolls higher, you can use that.
Oh, if my weapon attack is higher?
I definitely would have been doing that then.
I think it has to be like simple weapon attacks, maybe. I thought I read that somewhere, but maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I was reading it.
It's a melee spell attack
Yeah, it's a spell attack. Yeah. I think I might be thinking.
with
I might
a
be.
modifier of plus 20.
I might be
So-
doing
or
thinking
plus
of the
21.
wrong thing. So yeah, let's just do it with the plus 21, right?
Yeah, so I'm doing it with a trident. Mary Chrysler. Mary Chrysler.
Very close.
Natural
20!
20, Nulara,
Oh!
the ender of
That's a
Belcorra.
crit.
Chat.
Yeah, you know what?
She
Big
is
Chris in
kicking
chat,
ass.
everyone. Come on. That was one of the most intense crits that we've had so far. Nulara, you take the energy from yourself. You invest this ochre lens energy from yourself, the one that she almost locked free, and push it into her. She begins swirling with the energy from the ochre lens. And she is one step closer to being no more, theoretically,
Okay.
if it works.
Okay, so that's
Two
2
actions.
actions.
You have 2
Uh,
still.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
still have 2.
My third action would be to. Are you doing it next?
Did
Yeah.
you fly? You gotta
Okay.
fly.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Fly is a move, right?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just-
Yeah. For my third action, I'm gonna aid Mukta on his next attack. On my fourth action, I'm going to continue flying.
Perfect.
15 feet.
Perfect.
That's the end of my turn.
I love it. I think that brings us to Mukta's turn.
I think that's as far as I can go. So could I have moved diagonally up, right? I can move on a diagonal.
Yeah, you can. It's just moving diagonal. The first one is just like moving, right? The first one's 5, the second one's 10. And you can move diagonally up. It's the same thing. It's just like moving up. If you're moving straight up, it's difficult. If you're moving up slightly, for every 10 feet you move, you can go 5 feet up, I think is how it works.
Yeah, so I just need to go 5 feet up.
You can get to her. Yeah, you got the speed for that. No problem.
Yeah, so 25. All right, I'm going to hit her with the emerald lens.
All right.
Lara.
Okay. That
Yep.
would be my athletics. Mary Chrysler. 39.
So 39 is a critical success. Nulara's on a freaking hot streak. That's 4 like positive, like almost crits against Nulara, Belcorra in a roll. You're gonna take a +2 circumstance bonus from Nulara's aid.
Right?
She's flat-footed because you guys are flanking her. And she spins, and her eyes go wide as you come flying with this like fulcrum lattice, ready to just like put this last sliver into her. Mukta, if there was an important roll, this is it.
Does that have a hero point? Right.
Yeah, I do.
Mary Chrysler.
Hero point.
Well, that's only a +2. It should be +20, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay,
+20.
but either way, a 3 plus
Mary Chrysler.
plus 20 would miss. So let's it's 2 on the dice
That's
is gonna miss.
22, so 27.
Yeah. Do you want to let that roll? Or you want to use a hero point?
No, I'm gonna use the hero point.
Perfect. Let's use a hero point.
Mary Chrysler.
Chat. This hero point's directly from chat. So if this is worked,
Oh,
chat had your back, guys.
come on, chat.
Honestly, you should have a cool hero point just for stealing her spell slot, anyways. But that's
Come
okay.
on, Mukta.
Use that hero point. Use that hero point. 38.
38.
Yes.
Mukta, you fly forward through the air, taking the last bit of energy in this lens, force it into her. She fights back. It's almost like the Harry Potter when the wands are hitting and the magic's going back and forth. She's trying to resist it. And you just like double down and force it in. The last lens invests inside Belcorra.
Yes. Fuck yes.
This is the emerald lens.
This is the emerald lens, yes.
Yeah. I would imagine you're happy now that your negative damage persistent effect fell off last turn.
Yes, now I am, because it could have killed me.
And so you invest it into her, and her eyes go wide as now all this like energy is swirling around her. All 4 lenses seem to be invested on her, and there's like in the moment, like almost nothing happens. It's almost anticlimactic because nothing happens. She looks back at you, you look back at her, and she's like, but in the moment, nothing seems to have happened. All 4 are invested into Belcorra.
So that was 3 actions.
Mhm.
Third action, fourth, and so my first hasted action was to move over there.
Yep.
2 actions there.
Mhm.
Third action, I'm gonna cast shield.
Ah!
Final action, I'm gonna cast shield. Because I'm like, I push the lens into her. I'm like, haha! And then the thing happens, and I'm like, I drop the lattice as a free action.
Yep. Tumbles down.
Into the
It still
water.
has 2 of the lenses in it, right? So you drop it.
It has the crimson
falls-
lens and the emerald lens, yeah.
Yep, and it falls down and like splashes in the like dirty, gross, swampy water below you. Is that the end of your turn?
And then I cast shield on myself.
And then you cast shield. Ah! Okay, here's what happens. At the end of your turn, Mukta, there's a loud crack and a tearing in the top of the chamber, as if reality itself is being ripped apart. One by one, the lights of the chamber blink out. The glowing purple energy pulsing from the stones snuff into darkness, followed by the glowing green pools of light around the edge of the room. Finally, the blue beam in the center of the room flickers on and off before going dark. A terrible blackish gray mist. A terrible blackish gray mist seeps into the room from the crack, spilling forth as if tentacles searching the space for something. It stinks of a fetid bog, and as the tendrils brush across you, it leaves a layer of rotten, slimy water upon your clothes and everything it touches. The mist twists in shape and form, with 7-fingered tentacles appearing and disappearing in the fog around you, reaching out, probing towards you. You feel it pass through your physical body and touch your soul directly. Glimpses of eternity fill your mind. Vast expanses so empty, it hurts your brain to try to comprehend. Realities folding in upon themselves, splitting like fractals across the endless sea of space and time. You see reflections of yourself, hundreds or maybe thousands, each growing off the last in spirals. It hurts your brain to try to comprehend the visions you were given, the insignificant scope of your life in comparison to what you have been shown. At this point, can everyone make a fortitude save for me? Wait, sorry, a will save.
Oh, no. Mary Chrysler.
Oh,
Natural 1. Guess what, though?
Do you have a
Oh.
hero point?
Thank you for whoever that was that gave me the hero point,
Mary
because
Chrysler.
I am a hero point in this baby.
Natural
what
20
was
for
that,
Hal.
Hal? What did Hal?
Yeah, Hal, what'd you get?
Natural 20.
Oh,
34 for me.
that's a 20 for Mukta. So for a total of 20.
You got any hero points, Mukta?
I used them all.
Okay, that's the price. So, Clovis, you had a natural 1 and you re-rolled it to a 32, right?
That is correct. Thank God I was given a hero point
Yes,
there.
thank chat for that.
Yep.
Whew.
Thanks, chat.
So,
Saved my ass on that one.
here's the thing. Everyone that got a critical success, which in this case is only Hal, as the mist kind of comes around you, you notice a womanly shape within the fog with a 4-pointed star for a face that looks back right at you. You can feel the smile and gaze as it considers you, Hal. But with your critical success, you take no effects. In fact, it's almost pleasurable as it gazes upon you. For Nulara and Clovis, with your success, you don't see this woman in the fog. You hear whispers in your ear. They talk about your success. They talk about how great you are. They talk about how great you could be if you just understood a little more. And you guys each become frightened 1. Mukta, with a 20, this is a critical failure. You become frightened 3. You become completely paralyzed with fear. And you begin to hear whispers in your ears that torment you and will last you for the rest of your days until you pass on to the next world and possibly beyond. Mukta, this is your obsession. You become obsessed with writing stuff down. It starts small, feeling the importance of documenting everything that happened here within the Abomination Vaults. Then it grows to writing down every bit of word you speak. Eventually, with every bit of words that you hear, everything must be written down, cataloged, saved. Over time, your words will become unintelligible. Weird markings and symbols that no scholar can make out. But you become consumed, obsessed with finishing a book, with writing it all out, despite the fact that no matter how much you seem to write, it will never be enough. And this will be what hangs over you for the rest of your days. Luckily, everyone else avoided the effects of this, so congratulations, you guys.
Fucking T-Rex is like, what? What's this?
Belcorra shrieks as the misty tendrils seem to find and wrap around her. No, impossible! I deserve your power, not your attention. She is restrained, held aloft deep within the empty vault. 7 tendrils start to dig into her ghostly form. Where it does, you see the ghostly form replaced with flesh, and the tendrils instantly rot the flesh, replacing it with wet reeds and mossy clumps that spill outward towards the ground. My death is full of rage and strength! Vengeance! It is not empty! It is not empty! It is not empty! As Belcorra repeats this line, raging against the end, the long tendril of fog finds its way into her mouth. The words are snuffed out, and you see for just a moment the young face of a scared little girl. One who had been told her whole life about just how special she was, how important she was, how powerful she was. Here, rendered helpless by just a sliver of Nimbalost's power. And then she is gone. A tangle of reeds and moss dropped by the tendrils with a plop that lands across the altar in the center of the empty vault, obscuring the Ebon fulcrum lens beneath. The mist begins to rescind from the room, pulling away from you. Oh, also, these little creatures, the mist also consumes all the energy and all the souls within these like 2 creatures that have been attacking you, and they also get eaten up. But the mist begins to rescind from the room, pulling away from you. Slowly, one by one, the lights in the room flicker back into existence. All except for the blue light, which turns on, pulses on, off, and flickers out for good. The quiet of the room lasts, and in this moment, it comes out, and for that one instant, you look over, Mukta is lying there, completely paralyzed from fear as he's flying in the air. Actually, the paralyzing makes him fall, splashes into the water, and he begins lying in the water in fear, unable to move, unable to get out of the water and breathe. The quiet of the room lasts only a moment as the silence is replaced with an intense grinding noise that echoes from the wall around you. Players, what do you do?
I swoop down and grab Mukta real quick.
Yep, you swoop down. I think it's reasonable that you'd be able to grab Mukta. I think the thing is, like, you can hold another object with the thing. Yeah, I think it's fine. So you swoop down, and he falls beneath this water. The water's dark and cloudy and a little murky. Nular, why don't you give me a perception check to see if you can find Mukta? It's not a hard perception check, but it's not a given, right?
Okay.
I'm going to set the DC at, for Mukta, it's probably only like a 22. This is easy. He's big. Even if you just fished in the water, you're going to find him, right?
Mary Chrysler. A natural 20.
Jeez, Nular, way to close out.
Jesus
So
Christ.
Nular
Man,
swoops down and scoops up Mukta and comes up out of the water with Mukta in her shield hand. Splash, he's dripping water. Luckily, he's not very heavy. It slows you down a little bit, but you're able to pull him out of the water. And as, you know, Clovis runs over to cast guidance, you can't because you're just still a giant dinosaur, Clovis. So your extra arms can't reach.
I can't hit you. Can't touch you.
The loud grinding noise continues around you.
Get out
go?
of here. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clovis will go back into shift out of wild shape.
Uh-huh.
Whispers.
What are we doing? We getting out of here, guys?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, instantly you guys start running out of the vault as fast as you can. The grinding noise continues. It sounds like it's echoing from above. Horrible echoes from over your head up the middle of the runes of Gauntlet seem to be channeling echoes down the center chamber coming your way. Something is coming from above. Something big and grinding is coming from above.
Run!
And as you guys kind of run out of the room as fast as you can, you dragging Mukta, like, you know, with he's still paralyzed for this whole thing. You guys get out the door, and as you turn around, the grinding noise is so intense, you watch as the ceiling of this room collapses. The entire central chamber of the Gauntlet, from the top to the lighthouse, has imploded and fallen straight down into the empty vault. And the whole empty vault is completely covered in rubble, and smoke flies out the doors at you guys, covering you in like a cloud of smoke. You cover your mouth, trying not to cough it in, as the ruins of Gauntlet, or the Gauntlet itself, is no more. The empty vault has been buried. Belcorra has been defeated. And mostly, you guys have been very successful.
Is Mukta still
Poor
paralyzed?
Mukta.
He's only paralyzed for about 30 seconds, and then he comes out of the paralyzation, and he's able to, you're able to like kind of break him out of it.
Hey! I see that he's injured, so I'll chug down like a healing potion on him.
I'm still
I'm
frightened
sorry.
forever,
I'm
right?
sorry.
You're still what?
Am I frightened? I'm frightened forever, right?
You have the whisper effect. Like your frighten doesn't last forever, right? The frighten goes away, but you have like right now, even as you kind of come out of this, you just have an obsession. Like you need to start documenting this. You need to start writing all this down. It's not a frightened effect. It's just it starts off subtle, and over the course of your life, it's going to get more progressively worse and worse. So for right now, it's just you just have a compulsion to write things down, but you can hold it down for now if you wish.
Yeah.
All right.
Clovis will cast some good berries for Mukta
Yeah.
and myself. Holy shit.
Yeah. So you guys are able to heal up, right? The gauntlet has imploded. So here's what happens, right? Congratulations, you guys. You get the happy ending, and everyone survived 75%, as Dalvin put it.
Yeah.
So, a crowd has gathered outside the edge of the ruins of Gauntlet, where once stood the ominous lighthouse. Now, only a pit exists. The ruins have crumpled in upon themselves, leaving a gaping hole in the ground. We see many concerned, familiar faces from the town of Otari. Ex-mayor Osef Menheb stands here, hugging his daughter Doriana. Yin Yasmera and her Thieves Guild stand near the edge of the crowd, whispering to each other, their schemes trying to figure out a way to best profit from this situation. Morleyben, carrying a handful of disheveled papers, tries to sketch what he's watching as the wind blows his papers around. Vandy Banderdash has her eyes closed, reciting a prayer to Sarenrae to watch over the town and lend her guidance. We see Lazda and Brelda Venkervel in tears looking down the pit. Dozens and dozens stand here in awe over what has happened. Even Captain Longsaddle looks on with sadness and mourning in his eyes. And in front of the whole pack, we see Rin Savinsky standing there, quiet, with Elenir at her back. The pair stand, waiting, staring down the pit. Slowly but surely, the crowd begins to sing a song. It starts with Doriana, echoing a song played by Hal at the dinner party. Verses about the Rose Guard, about the town, an amazing retelling of the town's history. And one by one, more voices join in, remembering back to the song sung that night, as the entire town of Otari comes together to honor your legacy. When a hand appears at the edge of a pit, there's a scream. And it's not until a moment later when Hal Armony's face appears, crawling out of the pit, that the town rushes forward to help you out. One by one, the heroes of Otari climb out of the pit to the celebration and hugs of the local townsfolk. We have a shot of Raida, who runs out of the crowd towards Mukta. As he smiles and opens his hands for a hug, she slaps him across the face, screams, "Never again!" and throws her arms around him. In the back, we see Morleybent rushing to sketch the moment in his books, proud of his student for coming so far.
Right after she slaps and hugs him, Mukta's going to reach for something in his pack and get down on one knee and take out the ring of the moonstone that he got set in Absalom. And tell Raita, never again, my love. I'm sorry for everything I've done, but I think we can finally settle down and start a life here.
There's like a shock as her hands go to her face. The people closest see what's going on, and there's like, yeah, whispers. Oh my god, and the whispers and stuff. Her tears well up in her eyes as she just softens and she says, "Never again." As she says, "Of course," and like takes the ring and lets you put it on her hand. The camera pans over a bit, and there's a shot of Caroline rushing out of the crowd towards Hal. We see Hal turn towards them, and we realize now there's like a shot, and on one end of the shot is Doriana, and on the other edge of the shot is Caroline. They're standing here not far from each other, both smiling and waving at you. Caroline with her big green eyes, beautiful green eyes. Doriana with her stunning brown eyes. For a moment, you kind of find yourself looking back between the two, but Doriana, noticing noticing Caroline and noticing you, smiles and resigns herself to turn away, giving you guys your moment. She turns instead, finding New Lara, giving New Lara a hug, exclaiming, "You did it! You must tell me all about it." And the camera kind of pulls away from them and follows Hal and Caroline. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Doriana. She's looking at you, Hal, and she's kind of been smitten with you for a while. And you can see you still have pinned to your chest her family crest that she gave you like so many weeks ago. Caroline kind of comes up and breaks this moment as she takes your hand and turns you towards her and tries to plant like a sweet kiss on you. What do you do, Hal? I mean, you reciprocate?
I'm speechless, of course.
Right. So you two lock, you got your Caroline. And like there's this tender moment as you and Caroline embrace here. And like in this like sweet, gentle naiveness of your love, the camera shifts just a little bit, and in the corner in the background, we can see Yinyas Mara watching you, and a small smile creeps over her face as she watches you two. Before she begins clapping, joining in on the crowd and the cheering. From the crowd, a small Shuni steps forward, a little pug-looking dog druid. He approaches Clovis. "Have you finally gotten in touch with your anger, Clovis?" He laughs as he throws his arms around you. Mushi flies up and lands on your shoulders, both of you joining you guys in like a warm embrace. And as he pats you on the back, he whispers in your ear and he says, "I have no doubt you helped restore balance today, friend." Would Clovis like to do anything or say anything or find anyone in the crowd? Is there anything Clovis would like to do in this moment?
Clovis is still banged up pretty good, but I think I did. I hope this will bring the force back to life and heal it. Everybody will be happy again.
No doubt, friend. We'll do it together. And the camera pans over, and there in the middle of the crowd, this crowd is teeming with positive energy, cheer, celebration, love, reuniting. We find New Lara alone in a sea of friends. After Doriana leaves to go congratulate the rest, there's a moment of emptiness inside that's a little hard to fill. But it's those eyes that catch your attention. Moving through the crowd, a perfect rendition of the woman you saw in your vision, making her way through the crowd towards you. Around you, nobody seems to notice her as she steps through the crowd, which begins to part like water around her. As she approaches you, you realize you know her name. She's been with you the whole time.
Belcorra?
She smiles.
Why didn't you tell me?
You've done it. You've done what was asked of you.
Why, the only one that could still see you?
They see what they want to see. You see what you want to see. But now, if you're ready, you shall be together again forever. She smiles at you, holding your hand. A peaceful moment in the midst of the chaos and confusion.
With her?
There's just a nod.
Nulara thinks for a little bit. There's a lot of emotions that's swimming through her right now. Initially, she's heartbroken because, you know, it was all real. The visions that she saw underneath the gauntlet were all real. And she did leave. But also, there's a relief that at least all the miserableness of what was told of her life wasn't exactly true, because while it did end miserably, there were parts that were lovely. And as much as she wants to go back after what she saw, she feels that there's a little bit more to do. So she asks Ancora, I have a favor to ask you.
Anything.
I know that I don't have an ability to go down yet and meet anyone, that have passed. But if you do see her again, tell her to wait for me a little bit more.
Where she is, time does not exist. And when you arrive, it will be like you were never apart. And she squeezes your hand just a little bit and she says, when you are ready, I shall find you. And she kisses your hand and then lets you go and starts melting back into the crowd. You feel that kind of shadowy warmth around you and a little bit of an embrace, a little more loving than usual. But you've kind of made peace and understanding with it, and now you guys are a little more connected, I would say. The camera floats up away from the pit that once housed the gauntlet. We can hear two voices over the crowd. The voice of Rin and Elenir talking as the camera pulls upward away from this congregation outside the gauntlet. The two dots standing on the edge of the pit become smaller as the camera pulls up. Did you always know that it would end this way? Asked Elenir. No, I could only hope. And sometimes, hope is enough, replies Rin. What comes next? Asks Elenir, staring down at the abyss. There is still work to be done. And somebody needs to help weave the threads of fate. But not tonight. Tonight we celebrate our victory. And the two figures kind of move away from the edge of the pit and join the kind of congregation as the whole pit pulls up until the cloud cover, this misty kind of fog from the harbor, pulls up and obscures the camera and pulls away from the town of Otari for one final time. And the screen turns a bright white and sits there for just a moment before returns. And we see Hal.
So, clouds dot the sky, hovering overhead as the ripping of sails filling with wind echoes in his ears. A man, his dark tan skin wrinkled, and his grown brown hair shot with gray, stands toward the stern, mutely fingering a strap that holds the loot across his back, while his offhand rests on the handle of a rapier. A sail on the horizon grows quickly closer as he looks to the other three masted ships streaking through the waters, part of his fleet. A pair of brilliant green eyes greet his as a beautiful woman with long auburn hair now streaked with blonde from the many hours spent under the sun. She looks back and says, "Shall we see what it holds?" And Sal, she asks as she pulls a short sword with her right hand and a flintlock pistol with her left hand. The man regards her, tight-fitting breeches and a worn overcoat of leather, smiling to her before it calls out, "All right, you scoundrels, pull alongside that ship and prepare to board. Let's see what they're keeping secret," before breaking into a rousing shanty about the high seas and the lawless men and women who call them home. And as the ship sails past, in pursuit of plunder, you get a glimpse of the rear quarter where, painted in brilliant green and red, the name reads, "Sweet Caroline." Pop, pop, pop.
So the ship goes off to sea, and a wave kind of comes up and obscures the camera lens and washes over it. And as the water drips clear, the scene has shifted. Mukta, can you please describe your character's ending, especially given the curveball thrown at you tonight?
So, at first, Mukta has his happy ending. feels like he can finally be happy. He stays in Otari with Raita as an advisor for Hal, working mostly in the shadows to keep everything kind of in line. Being the mayor's liaison with the local thieves guild, and also taking more clandestine roles in Absalon with Caroline's father as well. But more and more, his hobby starts to take more of his time, as his need to write down every detail of the heroes of Otari grows, till at the point where he's no longer doing any more of his duties and just writing. He just starts to write more and more and more, till it's all he does. And in a moment of clarity, seeing the life that Raita and his friends would have if he stayed around, one morning he's just gone. His rapier, his armor, and his thieves' tools left on the dresser in the home that he shared with Raita. No note, no explanations. All of his writings, as much as he could take with him, never to be found again. Decades later, there's a rumor in Katapesh that if you get lost in the deserts, you might happen upon a crazed old Yusoki in his cave that he's covered with writings written over and over and over again till they become gibberish. And he might curse you with his madness as well. Looks like Mukta can never keep his promises.
The camera shifts up through the rocky ceilings of this cave, covered in like scrawlings everywhere, before it hits like dark, and then it comes through and we see it pushing through some like leaves and foliage. Clovis, can you please go ahead and share with us Clovis's epilogue?
So you see Clovis in the forest, very happy, and you see him more of a teacher now, teaching other druids things that he's learned, spells. And, you know, he spends just a lot of his time just out in nature, him and Mushi, with the animals, and just very peaceful rest of his life out there. No more hero, no more going back into town, just living with nature and his people. Time goes on. Clovis has the Whispering Reeds. He, after defeating Belcorra, never opened it, and he has hidden it somewhere in safekeepings in the forest, hoping never to have to go and retrieve that book. But if something were to happen, he's ready.
And from here, the camera pans to the side and turns. And when the camera returns, we see Nulara.
Nulara would stay in Atari until the time that she sees that Hal doesn't need to be protected anymore. Although, even though he won't agree to it, he'd always been the one protecting her, and not the other way around. She'd also make sure to try and look for Clovis, and when she can't, she'll try her best to tend to the forest as much as she could. And, you know, like during her walks around the town, whenever she'd visit Raita and Mukta's home, especially early on in their marriage, she would silently and subconsciously live vicariously through them. Then after a bit, she'll say her goodbyes, and, with a stronger sense of her alignment with Pharasma's goals, she starts to travel. With the knowledge that Encora's with her, she fights. She gets with one group with the confidence that was never there when she met Hal, Clovis, and Mukta. And when the time comes and she tells Encora that she's ready to go back to her, and she does see her, she's gonna tell her, "You gave me such a marvelous gift. For the longest time, after waking up, I just wanted to know my purpose. And when I did find my purpose, and it was to come back to you, it made life so much easier. I'm sorry I made you wait. And I'm sorry I left. But I'm here now. It's so nice to see you again."
Just a warm kind of glow and presence and smile as like you guys hold hands and kind of turn, and in the back just this bright sort of light, kind of this point of light gets so bright that it like hurts the eyes of the viewers in the camera as it washes over you two, and then you guys are gone. But I do have one question, Nulara, because that's a beautiful way to end it. When you left the empty vault, you had the ochre lens in your possession, and what you would have noticed after you made it out and looked is that the magic would have returned to it. The ochre lens still contains the power.
Like, I find out immediately?
You would have noticed pretty quick, right? Because like I would think maybe not instantly, but by the time you got out and all that, and you looked at that same night you guys escaped, you would have realized now the ochre lens got the power back.
Oh no.
And you think back to where the rest of the lenses are, and there's an image of Mukta dropping the fulcrum lens from his grip as the fulcrum ladders with the two lens slotted as it disappeared into the water. The Ebon lens being slopped with like the like reedy sort of nothing that like Belcorra became and covering it, and then the whole gauntlet collapsing on top of it. All that power is still housed and buried right at the spot where it's most dangerous. But you have the ochre fulcrum lens. Or what would you want to do with it? How are you going to... before you would have got to the end, what would you have done with it?
I'll try to, study and figure out if I'll try to figure out if breaking it would do anything in destroying its power. Would it?
So, over time, like this is pretty much well beyond anything that's like definitely normal. You have to travel in your like travels and stuff. You meet lots of important, powerful scholars, and everyone that observes it and studies it lets you know that this sliver of Nimbalos essence is, while dangerous, yes, freeing it would unleash that essence of Nimbaloth upon our lands, upon our earth. That might be more dangerous than just keeping it safe and somewhere secure. Could it be contained and destroyed? Yes, but the risk that would incur such a thing might not be worth it. So if you want to leave it in their care and let them deal with it, you can. If you want to take responsibility for such power, that's on you.
It would be my Horcrux.
But
I'd be wearing it around until it gets too heavy, and I'll actually go to Hal before I go with Encora and let him know, "Hey Hal, long time no see, friend."
Pirate Hal.
There's always a spot amongst our people.
I know. You have a lot of white hairs on you already.
Especially in Zagoti.
I know, I didn't expect it. But I have to leave. And I show him this. But I've been keeping this on me for as long as I could. Because I didn't want to bring this on to anyone else after what we've all been through. What do you think we should do? You're one of the only people that I trust.
Well, you know I'm going to sell it, right?
Are you gonna really?
I mean, of course.
I was thinking of maybe throwing it in the middle of the ocean, but who knows who lives under the ocean? And I've traveled a lot.
I'll look over and call over Caroline as she's off talking with people, and I'll say to her as she walks up, and I'll give her a little hug and a kiss on her head and say, you know, Lara, she has this thing she wants to throw in the ocean. You know, I would just try to sell it and make some money, so perhaps you should give it to her, Lara.
Caroline, would you please tell your husband not to sell this? Keep it from him. Make sure that it's hidden. Don't show it to any of your kids, your grandkids. No. Just keep it, please. It would make leaving very easy for me.
I think she'll take it with an understanding that they'll keep a watchful eye on it. I don't know, like if I should step in and be Caroline here, or if I should let Hal be Caroline here. Me? Okay. So she looks very stern at Hal, and she says, "Such a thing is too beautiful to sell. We will keep it safe and secret."
Yes. And if you need anything, if maybe there comes a time that someone evil tries and look for this, I'm sure you know a couple of clerics that can talk to other people from the other side. And then my real name is, I whisper it to her.
There's a smile. And
Ask the cleric to call for that name, and you'll find me.
There's a nod and a hug, and then because you would have spent some time with Caroline, you guys have become friends over the years, right? So like they leave you on shore as Hal and Caroline like leave out to sea. It's back to that same shot with Hal and his epilogue, right? And like we get the same thing that Hal already went through, but like Caroline is like holding it, and she looks over at Hal and she says, "What do you think? Perhaps we can get a decent sum in Katapesh?"
Perhaps.
And the two sail off to find a buyer for this super epic, powerful, magical artifact. And
what a way to end
we
it.
fade to black, and the credits roll, and we've completed the Abomination Vaults playthrough. The credits roll, you know. GM Steve, Hal Harmony, Higgins as played by Rick. Thank you, Rick. You put an awesome experience and flavor on Hal, and I loved so much playing with Hal and experiencing him, so thank you for that. Mukta as played by Richard. I loved listening to you. You sounded like Hondo from the very beginning, and I've been interested in seeing like Mukta's arc, and he was the one I wasn't sure that why he would stick around the most, but you made it work really well, and I loved everything we got to do with Rita and all the curveballs we threw, and
Right till the end.
right till the end.
Right
Yeah,
till the end.
yeah. You actually made me tear up a little bit when you proposed because I didn't see it coming. I should have. But I didn't.
Yeah. I mean, he thought everything was fine then. I like to think that if Hal and Caroline sold the lens
Oh no.
in Katapesh, that by some stroke of fate, like a caravan got lost in the desert, and this crazed old Yosoki who wanders a little bit from his cave suddenly finds this lens and holds it up with this crazed look in his eyes.
Oh, that would be freaking.
And that's when like
awesome.
we noticed with all the crazy writing and all the undecipherable stuff, there are like images of the lenses and images of like Nimblelost stars and stuff, and like
And he goes and he takes it into his cave and keeps it in his most hidden secret spot there.
not a bad
His
place to
mouth.
end up.
That is freaking awesome.
The only downside is you would have, if they could decipher your writing eventually, they would lead them right back to the vault where you don't want it to go. But it's pretty secret. It's a cool way to end. So thank you, Richard, for playing Mukta, and Ninna as Nulara, as played by Ninna, scrolls by in the credits, and you know, tough, badass woman that took no shit from nobody. And I liked how you were like you put a twist in it, and like, I was trying to protect everyone, but really they were protecting you the whole time. And I like the emotion you put in.
So true.
And thank you so much for playing new Lara for us and for me, selfishly.
Oh, thank you for letting me play her.
Of course. And then the credits continue, and it's like Clovis, as played by Mike. Mike, thanks for joining us. I know you and Richard especially stepped in to fill like a casting call that we had, and it was really awesome for you to step in and come into a game that was already 4 episodes in and just hit the ground running, and A, learn what the heck Pathfinder's all about, and B, figure out what Clovis is all about along the way.
Right.
So
it's been a lot of fun, and you're an awesome GM, and being able to play with the 3 of you, 4 of you, obviously with you, Steve, was
GMs are players too.
It was just really awesome. You guys made it so much fun, and made it easier for me to come in and play. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And they're produced by Rick, edited by Rick, like produced by like executive producer Ninna. Like everyone behind the scenes has contributed like a lot of stuff to the show and things that you guys didn't even notice on the audience. So I definitely want to shout out Rick for doing the podcast, for editing all the YouTube videos, getting the thing and doing all those cuts.
Rick,
especially for the last 2 seasons, you've been doing 100% of the editing and not just like putting our stream up. You've been editing that stuff, and that's a lot of work. And I want to make sure you get that credit as it scrolls by here. So thank you, Rick, for doing that. That's awesome.
Our channel would not be the same without Rick.
Nope.
Yeah, and so those of you watching on YouTube and watching the edited feed and stuff, that's all Rick.
Yeah, Rick does a great job.
That's him.
Rick,
and then eventually, like the last credit scrolls up, and it's just the black screen, and then the Recall Knowledge logo like fills right there. Richard has it.
Oh, hey, look
black.
at that!
Dang.
And we do
First
have one
merchandise
post-credit
ever.
scene.
Oh.
The camera blinks back from the dark to a small spot within the depths of the Abomination Vaults. We hear a voice, the voice of Rin Savinsky, as she speaks. While she does, the camera pans over the wreckage in the empty vault. The gauntlet has fallen, yes, but Nimbaloth has touched our reality again, in the same place as before. The corruption only grows stronger. The potential power grows tenfold. And Nimbaloth has now tasted our world enough times to take an interest. She will be coming, and we must be ready. Deep within the rubble, beneath a large plant of reeds that have now sprouted out and grown from the body of Belcorra to cover the whole interior of the empty vault, we can see it. A small glowing pulse of energy pulses and grows brighter. And as the camera comes in, we see a small lens filled with 3 slivers of dark energy. The Ebon Fulcrum lens. We can see it pulsing, reaching out, calling to something, calling to someone, finding its next Belcorra. And there in the darkness beyond, next to it, a pair of eyes open. These 2 eyes each carry the symbol of the 4-pointed star glowing from within. The same 4-pointed star that Hal saw in the mist in the shape of the womanly figure. The eyes of Nimbaloth herself. Dark slivers of energy swirl from within like the Ebon Fulcrum lens. And we cut to nothing. The end. And that's the real end. That's the real end.
Great job.
Great job, guys.
Oh God, that filter, Rick.
Awesome,
That filter.
Steve. Awesome, Steve.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, we got outro. You got something to say, Ninna? Let's hear it.
No, I just wanted to say thank you to you, Steve. You
Yeah.
like for
Thank
the
you
past
for-
this is 40 episodes, and then the last 2 you had to cut down really dense material into 8 episodes. So oh my gosh, Rick.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's even
expect that. No, yeah, like we are so grateful to you because you put this thing together. We're just here to make your world like a little bit more like colorful and try to, do justice to it. But thank you so much.
You are 100%
This is
welcome.
so fun.
Absolutely.
It's easy
So
as a
fun.
GM to be able to put this much in when I know I'm going to get that much back from you guys, and it creates this like feedback cycle that makes me so happy.
Mhm.
So, thank you guys for
Like,
coming on this
thank
journey.
you.
And you are 100% welcome.
Definitely thank you, Steve, for putting up with all of our shenanigans. For
Yeah.
I tried not to
40
say
plus
no
episodes.
too many times.
yeah.
No, you're doing
Um,
great. It's awesome.
You know, you're an amazing GM. It's been an honor to play with you, and all of you guys, Ninna, Rick, Mike. It's been a blast creating this story with all of you and Steve.
100%.
And
Rick.
can't wait to do it again.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And thank you to all of our viewers.
Yes.
Yes, viewers, thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Listeners, you guys are the greatest.
Yes.
And they
You guys are
definitely
awesome.
helped
Thank you for-
tonight
High
because
five to
without
live
them,
chat. Psh, psh,
Yeah,
psh.
thank you
We
for
couldn't have done it.
for joining us on this journey.
Yep.
And we hope to see you guys back for our next one.
yes,
Yeah, there's more.
Does anybody like Star Wars?
I do.
I know, it's been interesting
We'll
lately,
get to
Yeah.
that.
especially with
The force
all
be
the
with you.
content
We'll
that's
get
been
to
coming
that
out
in 1
about
second.
it.
We'll
We
get
have
to that.
announcements. Stay
We do.
tuned.
I do have some announcements. Let me do the final closeout, and then I'll throw it over. But I get to do this for one last time. That's gonna do it for us this week, this season, this entire adventure path on the Abomination Vaults. Big, huge thanks to Ninna, Richard, Mike, and Rick for playing with me. It's been a fun year as we took this journey together. Thank you to everyone live with us now on Twitch. Those of you watching later on our YouTube channel or our podcast, don't forget to subscribe, follow everywhere we are. We're all over. We're not going anywhere.
Mhm.
But I want to give a huge shout out right now to our patrons who support us on Patreon. Big, huge thank you to David Sims, who's been with us for the whole time.
David!
Thank you, David.
David!
MVP.
You're the man, David.
David's
Thank
been
you.
following us, and he somehow signed up for the Patreon before I announced it. I'm still not 100% sure how that happened. But it was, I didn't announce
You
it.
rolled
He's already
crit
signed
on
up,
his check.
right?
He's a warlock.
But also Mike M, you've been a fan of ours, and you
Thank
came
you,
along
Mike
and you've been since.
M.
Thank you, Mike M.
Yep. Yep.
For the rest of you that enjoyed what you saw here, this adventure, go sign up, and then you'll get future announcements. We've already done a preview on our Patreon about what we have for our next adventure. So if you're really curious, go sign up for our Patreon and give us your thoughts. You can also get early releases of our videos before they hit YouTube, so you have the VODs right away or within a day or two. Big thanks to Molten Hosting and the Molten
Molten
Days.
Hosting!
And as Rick
Molten
called it,
Toaster.
they let us create the Moltenverse,
Yeah.
right?
That's true.
Multiverse.
We got all these multiverse stories going. So thank you for providing our server hosting and making it so easy. Don't forget to use the referral code Recall Knowledge for your first month. Oh, Mike M's in
Knowledge.
chat. Mike M, thanks for joining us live in chat.
Hey,
Hey,
Mike
Mike
M.
M.
Hey.
Use the referral code Recall Knowledge to get your first month for free. Check them out at moltenhosting.com. Don't forget, we have a contest that'll be live as soon as this YouTube video is live on YouTube in 2 weeks. So you can win a copy of a Foundry license for yourself. We'll have an announcement video with more contest information coming your way. Big thanks to the Rollsmith!
Rosemith! Mary Chrysler!
Mike, you already subscribed to us on Patreon. You don't have to subscribe on Twitch as well. But
But
oh, he got
Thanks,
gifted a sub. I
Mike.
see.
Thank
Gets all
you.
gifted. Big thanks to the Rollsmith for the awesome dice that you saw here today. Go pick up a set for you and your GM. I can't wait to see all the new dice that are out before our next adventure starts, so we can see what we have to work with. So that'll be cool. Huge thanks. We don't say this enough week in, week out, but huge thanks from me to the developers of the Pathfinder 2nd Edition on Foundry. You guys have made it such an awesome experience for us, and you guys are constantly adding new stuff and making it so easy for us to enjoy Pathfinder. If you remember at the very beginning, we started with Roll20, right? That was a nightmare. We switched over to Foundry early on. I would never go back. So thank you, Des, for making it so easy. There's so many of you guys. I mean, I can call out the ones off the top of my head, like T-Moon and Shark that walks like a man, and Nicolaj. You guys are all awesome. I know TKL are also in there. There's so many I couldn't even think of off the top of my head, but all of you guys are awesome. We wouldn't be anywhere without you guys. So thank you 100 times over for giving us this experience to even experience. I think any other shout outs you guys? I know you guys heard I already did it. Any more shout outs you guys want to give?
No, I would just want to reiterate thanks to everybody in whole or in part has come along and watched this with us, but specifically thanks to Ninna, Mike, Rick, and of course Steve for putting this whole thing together. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Shout out to that guy. You know, he's an ass.
Always
Wanted
rooting
me
for
to
the
die
TPK
every
chat.
game. I think in chat
Sorry,
every
no
game.
TPK, that guy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
every time I got a TK. Yeah, every time. So yeah, that guy.
All right. Recall Knowledge is actually going to be going dark on Twitch for a couple of weeks. But when we come back, Richard is going to be GMing us through something. Richard, do you want to tell the audience what they have to look forward to?
So yes, when we come back, we have a bit of a surprise for you guys. We are going to be playing through Star Wars Force and Destiny. I will be GMing through that after a bit of a break. Don't worry, we're not leaving Pathfinder. This
Not
is
at
just
all.
a bit, of a kind of an in-between, right? So we've all been excited to try out this system, try out the game, see how it goes. I'm GMing, so we'll see how that
Mr.
goes.
Playing.
Steve's a player.
Steve's a player.
Oh yeah, watch Steven as a player.
So, we hope you guys get to enjoy that as much as you've enjoyed our Pathfinder content, and hopefully have as much fun in a galaxy far, far away.
I believe, if I'm correct, that'll air first episode on February 2nd.
I
And then-
believe. No, I think we're going 1 week dark, and then we're doing.
Soon
So-
TM.
We're dark on the
Yeah.
19th, right?
Yeah, so are we back playing on the 9th?
TBD.
Hold on. Let me look.
What is today?
Yeah.
Follow our Twitter.
Yeah,
keep
follow
up
our
with the
Twitter.
schedule.
It's coming. We're
Yeah.
going to be dark for 1 or 2 weeks, and then we're going to have 3 weeks of content. The first 2 are
Yeah, 3
pre-recorded,
weeks
and
of
we've
Star Wars.
already played them, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
And
third
maybe
one
has,
Richard will get back at his DM or GM. We'll see.
Yeah.
We're playing the beginner's box, so we're just using the beginner's
Yeah.
box
So
characters.
we are playing the beginner's box of Force and Destiny. So we're
And,
using.
and
that
yes, we
adventure
will
path
be
region
going live on
characters.
the 9th there, Mr. GM.
The 9th is... So
Yes.
the third episode will be played live on a Wednesday night in front of you guys, but the first 2 are pre-recorded because some of us are taking a well-deserved vacation. It's not
Yep.
me. And then our next full-length actual play is scheduled to start sometime near the end of March. In the meantime, we will have fun running short-form content in other systems. We're going to start with Star Wars, Force and Destiny, maybe move on to some other stuff. I know I have some stuff I want to run, some things I have my eyes on. I know Rick's been wanting to run some stuff. I don't know if we're going to squeeze that in, but either way, we're going to try to have some fun running some content in other systems, maybe some Pathfinder one-shots. We'll see. And that's going to bridge the gap until we do our next campaign, which will come in March, and we'll announce all the details about that soon. We're still hammering out specifics, but it's going to be fun.
You want sneak peeks of what we're doing? Go sign up for our Patreon.
Not for our Patreon. We do sneak peeks there. Sign up. Follow us on Twitter. That's the easiest way to keep all the most recent announcements. You can do @Recall Knowledge for the whole team. I'm @Steve the DM. You guys have Twitters you want to pitch?
RK Richard RPG,
There we go.
both here on Twitch and on Twitter.
Nina Bautista.
There we go.
That's 2 N's.
At Hallowed RPG.
Mike, do you have a Twitter to pitch?
No, I do not.
You have one, but you don't want to pitch it. Awesome. I can respect
I'm
that.
not pitching.
All right. Until we see you next
That guy
time.
might send me something.
Until we see you next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and goodbye.
Thanks, Steve.
Night,
Thanks,
everybody.
Steve.
Thank you
Good
all.
night.
Thanks, Steve.
Of course. Good night.
Can't wait.